stage against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then they let that happen last night. I got to tell you, boy, did they look like crap. Just absolutely dog spit, terrible. They looked really, really bad. Can't wait to talk to Dale Schilly about this at 9:30. He's going to join the show, but come on, guys.
It was weird. I mean, they looked timid. They were making mistakes.
Defensively,
mistakes.
they looked.
Yeah, it was definitely not what anyone was expecting. Even if a team is going to play poorly, sometimes it's like a hot start and then it falls apart quickly, but it just never really had any sharpness to it. And this was a team that was being praised for its skill and its ball handling, passing, all of that. And so kind of, pretty disappointing.
And you get the one goal on a free kick by Tillman, who, by the way, had back-to-back direct free kick goals, which was, I think nobody's done that in, was it like the 60s or something? I saw the number last night or the statistic, but it just doesn't happen. He scores, so we're all feeling pretty good about it, and then they give up a goal like a minute and a half later. Come on, guys. It was a really bad performance, and it stinks for a bunch of different reasons. I mean, we were just having this conversation off the air. Would you rather it be like that, where it's just kind of out of your control for the whole game?
They didn't deserve to win. Like that was my question for Ranj. Is it somehow, I don't know if it's less disappointing or a different kind of disappointment, yes, than it was a hard-fought game and it was a heartbreaker in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't
we never had enough hope to be heartbroken because they came out pretty sluggish.
Yeah, it wasn't like Cape Verde or Mexico losing on Sunday. It wasn't games like that. It was like they just got their brains beat in. and they looked terrible. Just absolutely. They did.
Everybody has an off game.
Yeah, well, having the World Cup in the round of 16, you got to look, they can't get past that hump. And this is why we continue to ask people like Dale Schilly, who are tied in with youth soccer in America and, the process of getting players to the men's national team. I mean, he's familiar with all that. Like, why is it so difficult to get past this one spot? And they're just, and even when they have a promising team like this, I mean, how many different people told us that this is as good of a team as they have ever had? And you know what? For the first couple of weeks, they looked that way. And then you have this happen last night, which is unfortunate. And it's even more unfortunate against the backdrop of the red card and the suspension. And then you have the president making a phone call. And then 4 days later, FIFA deciding to go back on the suspension. Which
I wouldn't say that's more unfortunate, though, because I would say their performance last night relegated the whole red card Trump phone call to irrelevance. It didn't matter.
Well,
if let's say Balogun had scored 2 goals and won, now everybody's talking about the red card. But I feel like the way the team played last night, it was so poor around, just all around, that nobody even brought up the red card.
Well, this is why it matters, because you had. You can argue he's your best player. He was playing the best. He's playing better than Pulisic was playing, who is hurt, and he got hurt again last night. But he was clearly banged up, and he was slow, and he just seems to be a shell of himself right now. But you had your best guy and your best team out there on the field, and that's the way they looked. So it seems like all these hurdles got jumped to get this guy into the game, and he was nearly a non-factor. I mean, he got 1 shot on goal. We had 1 opportunity, but it didn't matter. It did not matter that they had their best team on the field. Are you bored?
No, I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
No, I was.
She's back.
I was just leaning back because I was thinking, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that take in the sense that, let's say Balogun didn't play last night and the team looked the exact same because Balogun was a non-factor. You're right. Maybe everybody says the team was off. They didn't have the guy. They didn't have their hottest guy right now, right? Balogun could have been the difference maker because everybody else was terrible. But he was in the game and he wasn't a difference maker.
We got Flavius Bologna is going to be playing. And
John's not even trying. Not even trying.
But, yeah, so I think, I don't know. To me, Balogun, the red card, the Trump phone call, you almost forgot about it because it just never felt right, and Balogun was a non-factor.
Well,
and like I said, maybe if they played terribly last night like they did without Balogun, everybody's saying, well, you lost your best guy. He would have been the difference. But he wasn't.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, is that you've got your best player on the field. Everybody, your best team is on the field, and that's the performance you put together. And what another thing that stinks about last night, and you can say, well, I don't care what other people think of us, and that's all right. But it felt for a couple of weeks like the rest of the world was kind of like, hey, America's all right. You know what? The U.S. is pretty cool. People are coming from other countries, getting to experience it, and they're saying things like, it's nothing like I ever thought, and kind of rooting for us, and maybe rooting for our team a little bit. Of course, they're rooting for their own. But that whole thing, it's like everyone started to root against us because of that decision over the last 36 hours leading up to the game. And I guarantee you, actually, that all those people are like, good, they deserved it. They deserve to get absolutely clobbered in that one. And that was,
I don't know.
Ball don't lie.
Yeah,
I think that's how they feel.
I don't know. I mean,
well, if you listen to anything that anybody was saying about the United States leading up to the game, they were pretty pissed off. I think we were about the only people who were happy about it.
I wasn't happy about it in the sense that, like I said, it does sometimes feel, no, it doesn't sometimes, it always feels like the president has to insert himself in every situation, no matter what. And that part is fatiguing. And that part was fatiguing for me because I felt like the true celebration of 4th of July and the 250th anniversary was this wholesome friendship that was building between all of these countries coming to the U.S. and Americans being excited and proud. Like, hey, the Europeans and the South Americans don't hate us. Look at all our stuff. Do you want to see our stuff? Do you want to see our gas stations? Hey, want to try these waffles? Yeah. Do you want to see our national parks? And then the Europeans are saying,
we got waffled last night.
We love this. We love our soda and soda refills, and we love your national parks, and we love Buc-ee's and Bass Pro Shop. And it was wholesome and fun, and it felt like in that conversation that politics were out of it. Lest we forget, FIFA is the most corrupt sports organization in the world.
It's up there. It could be IOC.
Really bad. I would put it at the very top. And so it's not like the World Cup is apolitical. Of course it's not. It's always very controversial. I think it was just such a surprise, wholesome experience we'd been having between the fans. But then the head honchos, meaning the top guys at FIFA and then Donald Trump, always insert themselves into the conversation, which somehow puts a shadow over everything. So I get it that people were annoyed with it, but hopefully that it doesn't overshadow this experience of the World Cup in the U.S., which I don't think it will, partly because the U.S. played so poorly last night.
Did you see Dave Portnoy, who's the leader of Barstool? He was on, I think it was their Pardon My Take podcast. And this was leading up to the game. It was before, I believe, the overturning of the Balogun suspension.
Okay.
And he said, I got a text from the highest echelons of the government, and I got a feeling this is going to get overturned. Like he was, somebody in the government told him.
Yeah.
And told him he must have a direct line to the president for some reason, or somebody who's really higher up. And he says that he was told by that person, like, hey, keep this on the down low. We don't want that to get out, that we're, that we're maybe putting our thumb on the scale on this one. And then, of course, all they did was brag about it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of feel like had they not done that, it would just be like, what's FIFA doing? Here's this corrupt, like, there's no attention on us, right? It's not like the president of the United States tipped the scales and inserted himself into the situation. What I'm saying is I think we would have been a lot better not knowing that.
Yeah, but that's not the nature of the president. He likes to be, I think.
But it is funny.
He likes to be the center of attention. And let me be clear. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I do think it is funny that they're like, "Hey, we don't want anybody to know about this," and he's the first person to go like,
Yeah.
"Hey, look what I did." It's
Like
so
when he
funny.
read was it Marco Rubio who passed him a secret note? And
Oh, yeah,
read
and he read it out loud? Yeah.
It's like that. But I will say, and I think two things can be true at once. It can be a terrible call. The red card was a terrible call.
It was not good.
Objectively bad. And you can say, wish if the president were going to reach out, I wish this were all on the down low. So multiple things can be true at once. But ultimately, I do think the poor performance last night across the board from Team USA kind of relegated that situation to irrelevance. The team didn't look great, which is a bummer because they did look good leading up to that game. They were putting on a great performance. And the thing is, no one was expecting Team USA to win the World Cup. My goodness, they didn't even make the World Cup last year, and it was fun to have them in it. But to be fair, all the host countries are out now. Canada's out.
Yep.
Mexico's out. The United States is out. Ronaldo and Portugal, they're out. And this is probably Ronaldo's last World Cup. So it is tough to advance.
So
it's tough to advance.
Now I got to pick a team, and I suppose I don't know. I can't
Argentina?
go for. I can. No, they're the
Why?
favorite. They just won. I'm not giving
But
Argentina
you can't
it.
hate Messi just
I don't
because he's
hate him.
successful.
I don't hate him. I'm
You
just
don't like him because he's short?
I'm not rooting. I'm not
Raj.
rooting for a guy who just won. I'm not rooting for Argentina. Maybe Switzerland. I think I might pillage and plunder with the Norwegians.
Oh, because Holland is pretty
He's
funny.
great, and
And
they
the
play
Viking
on,
row.
They play on Saturday, so I might be on Norway's train.
Can Norway play Argentina? I didn't look at the bracket. That would be fun, but I don't know if they're. I mean, in the final. I didn't.
I
look at
don't know about
bracket.
the
I just gotta
final,
look at
but
I
I can't root
agree.
for Spain,
No,
and
don't
I'm
root for
definitely
Spain.
not rooting for Belgium. Screw that.
The Belsh? You're not a fan of the Belsh?
I am not rooting for the Belsh because I cannot root for a team that beats mine. Spite. Sorry,
I
you
like
get
the
nothing.
Norway. Let's go Norway.
The Norwegians?
Yeah.
I'm in. I got a bunch of Norwegian friends. I'll reach out to them, see how they're doing. It's Chris and Amy show with you till 12 o'clock. We'll talk soccer with Dale Schilly at 9:30 on KMOX.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
The Second World War is the largest event in human history.
A 20-part series with Tom Hanks.
No part of the globe was untouched, no life unchanged.
Experience the ultimate account of World War II.
Every single person had a story. These are the stories that make us who we are.
Listen to World War II with Tom Hanks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. RoughGreens.com, discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green, we make any dog food better.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Don't let garage door problems bench your summer plans. From repairs, tune-ups, and replacements, Renner Garage Door hits a grand slam every time. Score a free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
I've been listening to the Cardinal broadcast on this radio station here, obviously KMOX, and I saw it said send a voice message. So I thought I would and see what happens.
Well, John, this is what happens. Leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app. John in Springfield. Yeah, he did it. That's what happens, John.
I love that he didn't really have a purpose. He just sent a voicemail.
Download the Odyssey app straight to your phone. It is free. You can find it on the Google Play Store. What do you Apple people use? Whatever it is.
Whatever they call it. It's the App Store.
App Store.
Google is the weird one.
Yeah.
Apple has the easy one. App Store.
You go and download it to your inferior phone, or if you have a Samsung or something like that, you can put it on there too. Hey, real quick, text messages, 314-436-7900. And a texter says, how do they not have clear rules in place regarding red card reversals / challenges? It seems so arbitrary on FIFA's part to squeeze out a couple more bucks. Yes, and I agree with you. Here's my take on this, because it has been pretty standard for, I guess, ever. You get a red card in the middle of a game, you're automatically out for the next game. Everybody knows that, right? I just think that's really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really stupid to make that decision in like taking a minute or two to make a decision that has implications for the following game too. Do it like every other sport does it, where if you're going to issue a red card, eject somebody from the game, fine, do that. Out for the rest of the game. Then get a committee, 3 people. They get together, they look at the play, they go over it, they spend more than 2 minutes on it, and they decide later, is this suspension worthy or is it not? Is he out for the next game or is he not out for the next game? Do it like the NFL does it. Like baseball, every sport has a review process that's not in the heat of the moment. It's just so dumb that soccer does it this way. And I would not be surprised if they consider changing that just because of what happened with FIFA and the president and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. We can talk to Dale Schilly about it because he does join us next at 9:30. And we can also ask him, too, about, is there a precedent for... I know it has happened before where a red card issuance has been reversed.
Yeah.
We could ask him about that as well. But to your point, FIFA is so famously corrupt. And the IOC is famously corrupt. I joke that FIFA and the IOC make the NFL look like little sisters of the poor. like it's just so insane. But at the end of the day, as they say in sports, gosh, I forgot about the red card because I was just so disappointed by how poorly Team USA played. But I agree with you that we should root for Norway. It would be fun for Argentina to advance even deeper because it's great when you have the best player in the world or the best player in the world late in the tournament. It's fun. People want to see Messi, but I like Norway. I like Holland. Not Holland, but Haaland, guy.
I have a lot of French in my ancestry.
I
can't root for them. They're the favorite.
No, you can't root for the French.
No, so I'll go with I'm going to go with the Norwegians. I want to go with I want to be happy for Norway.
Do you think people think I'm saying Holland, the country, when I say Holland?
I don't know, but that guy's amazing. Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland.
Who, by the way, born in England. Or he was raised in England. Something like that.
I will say, if you haven't seen the replay of his header goal, where he leans forward. People make memes about him, how it's a little like Neanderthal-esque.
Like the way he runs?
He leans forward, but he wasn't running. He was walking like he was watching the game. Looked like he didn't care. Head forward, hunched shoulders. Walk, looks bored, disinterested, takes 3 explosive steps, suddenly heads the ball into the goal. And they're like, that is how you don't waste energy and you just know the game. You wait for the space, and then you explode through it.
I'm really into that guy. He's very interesting.
Hey, wait, sorry, yes?
No, I was going to say that I think, I mentioned this earlier, I think we should pillage and plunder with Norway. But I can't decide if I want to do both pillaging and plundering or just pick one.
Like I pillage, you plunder?
Yeah, someone needs to help us decide. Should we pillage or should we plunder with Norway on Saturday when they play England?
314-436-7900. Harambe said he's back from a 10-day vacation. What I miss, I know I missed you guys. No, you didn't.
Well, we weren't here either. So, good to have you back, Bubba. 314-436-7900. Always join the show because we love to hear from you. Dale Schilly, Academy Director at City SC, and still another couple of weeks before City plays again. And he's a broadcaster on Y98, one of our soccer experts. He will join the show in just a moment. And yeah, it's the biggest stage in the world, and it's happening right now in soccer, but not if you're the United States, because you just poo-pooed the bed. And so they are out, but you can still stay involved. And FanDuel is changing the game. All right, let's say you have picked a player, you've put a wager on that player in the game to score, and he gets subbed out late, like Christian Pulisic did last night, got subbed out, had a bit of an injury. Well, your bet normally goes with him, so it's off the table, but not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub, which allows your player, if he gets subbed out, it allows your bet to stay in with the substitute who comes in to take his place. It's called FanDuel's Super Sub. It is a great way for you to stay in on the action all the way up until the final whistle. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel.com/Missouri. As I've told you, the app is safe, it is secure, it is easy to use, and if you win, you get paid out instantly if you want. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All access with Ollie Marble on the Gas House Gang.
I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group. This group fits my personality to a T. I love what we're doing. I love how we're going about it. I love the honest conversations. I love the grit. And there's been certain times where I've caught myself where bases are loaded, our backs up against the wall, and I can't help but smile. I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group.
Ollie Marble, Tuesdays at noon on KMOX.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey, St. Louis, need to sell your home fast? The Gelman team with eXp Realty can make you an instant cash offer in just 24 hours. No showings, no repairs, no waiting. Visit thegelmanteam.com or give them a call at 314-336-1991.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
79 degrees, but apparently it feels like 93. Sun and cloud mix today with maybe a thunderstorm or two this afternoon, a high of 85. Tonight, a low of 71. Weather sponsored by Ricken Financial.
Income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. Join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement with Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost every Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on KMOX, and get more at rickenfinancial.com.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician. I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Freeman blocks the cross, prevents the corner. It's infield. The U.S. is hesitating. A bouncing ball is picked up in the box, and that's the opening goal for Belgium. It was De Ketelaere first to react in there on the cross. The U.S. players froze defensively.
Yikes. Men's national team loses in the World Cup last night, so it is over for them. And now Belgium has advanced, and they will play on Friday afternoon. Time to bring in our guy, Dale Schilly, City SC Academy Director, broadcaster on Y98. And we're still a couple of weeks away from City SC resuming play, and we are looking forward to that. Dale, it's good to have you with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. What in God's name happened last night?
Yeah, we ran into something and was just playing a team that it was a higher level than what we had played so far in the event, and it exposed some of our problems in the back. And it was a difficult game. One, it was hard to watch, obviously, but a decent event overall. But we would have liked to have got at least into the quarterfinal.
Yeah, Dale, with the level of play that you had seen from this men's national team up until last night, did you think they had a pretty good chance of challenging Belgium for the win?
They were the betting favorite before the game.
Yeah, but it's such a hard thing because Belgium is a good team. I mean, they've just kind of come out of their golden era where they had really high level. One of the top probably 4 teams in the world over the last couple of years. And now some of those guys have gotten older, and we really don't know what they have underneath and what the younger talent is like. I think we saw yesterday that their younger talent is really good, and they've gotten better and grown through the World Cup. And we hadn't been tested like that. You know, our toughest game, Turkey was a game that we played a different roster and that sort of thing. The first game against Paraguay, even though we won 4-1, was against a team that advanced, pretty far into the event. But they didn't have to be as organized, and they weren't as far along at that point in their development as they were at the end, or where Belgium was. So Was I surprised? I was probably more surprised that we were the betting favorite, and not as surprised that we found Belgium to be a really difficult team to play against.
You know, I'm not trying to single out players, but I think you can't help but to, because your best players are supposed to be your best in moments like that. Is Christian Pulisic, and I know he left with an injury last night, is he just, was he hurt still from the group stage? Because he was terrible last night.
Yeah, I would say what we ran into is a team that's playing at a high level, a team that was capable of playing faster and making the game faster than what we were comfortable with, and we just couldn't get guys involved. We spent so much time on our back foot and on our heels defending that it never really felt like that we believed that we could get out and get a result. And after giving up after scoring and making it 1-1, you kind of felt like, hey, this might be our chance now. Maybe the guys will start to have some belief and we can start to play with a little more freedom and not so tight. And then we give up the quick goal. So I would say Christian was not good last night, not completely on him for sure. But when you're playing against top competition, you're in that round of 16, you're trying to make it into a quarterfinal, your best guys have to show up, and it can't be two or three of them. It has to be everybody.
But is it fair to say, if you're not terribly surprised that the U.S. lost to this very good Belgium team, that you're a little bit surprised by how they lost? It seemed like they had several self-inflicted wounds in that game.
Yeah, it was not a good time for a number of guys to have poor showings. And you look at the team and you think you have talent, and when you play against the lesser or the average competition, you would say, yeah, we are moving along and we're progressing. Then when you start to play, some of the top 10 teams in the world, then you realize just what the next level looks like. I mean, think about this. Belgium were really good yesterday. It was the best game they played so far in the event. But they're in a tier below the upper echelon, which right now I believe would be France and Spain. So they're a step behind where those two teams are. Now, it doesn't mean they can't beat Spain. They absolutely could. They've got some quality, and they can be organized and defend and keep Spain away from the goal. But yeah, I mean, they would be the second tier beneath those top two teams, and I think after yesterday, we would have to say we're a step behind them.
Talking with Dale Schilly here on KMOX. You've seen a lot of soccer in your life. Have you ever seen a goaltender try to clear it and then kick the grass instead?
Yes, but usually in a youth game.
Oh. Well, I think I've done it.
Dude.
Yeah. Who among us?
What the hell was that? What was that?
Yeah, you know what? It comes back to what I said earlier. That you make mistakes based on the speed of the game. Here, I'll give you an example. You guys golf?
Well, not very well.
Okay,
I don't do anything well, so.
Let's say you're out in the fifth hole, the sixth hole, and you're out in the fairway, and your swing is great, and you're hitting the ball straight and long, and you're really having a game. And then you get to the ninth hole, and you go in and get a hot dog and a soda, and you're out in the 10th hole, and now there's people watching you, and all of a sudden you get a little bit of a case of the nerves because you're in a situation that's not so familiar, and now you lose your swing and you can't hit the ball straight. Same with the guys when they're playing in a game where it's faster than what they're comfortable with. They're uncomfortable. They're going to make mistakes that don't look familiar. They don't look like guys that are playing at that level, and those sort of things happen.
Okay.
I mean, that's real quick.
Yeah.
I hear you, but also we're amateurs, and this man is supposed to be the best goaltender in the country. Because that's how you get that job, right? You're supposed to be the best goaltender in the country.
Keeper. I think goaltender's hockey.
Hey, it's the same. What do you think of that, Dale?
But to your point, yeah, goalkeeper. But to your point, it's not the crowd. It's not the situation. It's the fact that he's having to make decisions that don't look familiar to him because it's happening at such a speed that you can't that you're not ready for it. It's happening faster than what you see. Amy's seen it in hockey, where a team may look like they're playing and hitting on all cylinders, and all of a sudden they play against a team that's really hitting on all cylinders, and they give up goals and they make mistakes that you just wouldn't see them do because they're facing something that's not familiar.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah, it was what you just described was the New Year's Eve game with the Blues against Colorado, which was the top team in the league. And you think, okay, well, the Blues have some wins, and then they play Colorado, and it looks like a different game, a different level. So, okay, this is going to sound like a stupid question, and it probably is. But Ranj often says, when he gets fired, he wants everyone in the company to get fired too, so that like we all go down together.
I don't want to miss out.
Yeah, or like when he dies, he wants the whole world to explode so that everybody's gone.
I don't want the FOMO.
Do you think is it any consolation, or does Matt Freese look at his mistake any differently because the whole team played poorly versus it's a 0-0 game and he single-handedly blew it by kicking the dirt?
Well, I think he's going to look at it that we were in the game at 2-1, and when he gave that goal away, it made it 3-1, and that broke our back. I think that's the one that, at 2-1, if you can keep it 1-goal game, at any moment we could score a goal or find a free kick or whatever it was going to be to find that one chance. And we were still in the game until the final whistle. But when you're 2 goals down, you really have to start opening up and taking some risks and changing some players. And I think he's going to look at that one as a backbreaker.
Okay, so we've been super negative, and it's been a bit of a bummer. But it was so much fun watching this U.S. men's national team. I mean, the United States didn't even have a men's team in the World Cup the last time around. And the excitement and the momentum that built around the country, around the fan base, people maybe who didn't care about soccer cheering on the men's team. Do you think that momentum will have some lasting effect for the game of soccer in the United States, both fans and growing the game from a youth level?
I would say yes. First off, terribly disappointed. Not a success from the men's national team perspective and moving on, and would have liked to get to the quarterfinals. From a games perspective and developing the game in this country, we saw a mushroom effect after the '94 World Cup. And we'll see the same thing here, that just renewed enthusiasm, new fans for the sport, just a new level of commitment and excitement about the game. 100%, I think we'll see the game grow and take another big step. I don't know what that step is, but it'll take another big step because of the enthusiasm and the passion and everybody's experience around this World Cup. Outstanding World Cup.
Dale, to that end, obviously the U.S. team is a little behind. And this is the conversation. It seems like a perpetual conversation about them. Like, when do they take the next leap? Starting from the lower levels. And I know that there are players like Landon Donovan and Tim Howard. They're always talking about how we just don't do it well at the lower levels, not like European countries do, which is why we're far behind. So how do we get there? How do we get to this point where it filters to the top, to the U.S. team, to the national team, and they are an actual legit threat when they get to the World Cup?
I would say we just have to stay the course. It takes time. Just think about the improvements that we make, and even though we think we're catching up and we're moving forward, the other countries are not stagnant. They're not just sitting there saying, hey, when's the U.S. going to catch up? They're trying to get better themselves. And so there's this game of trying to be as good as the Spain and the Frances of the world and the Belgians of the world. But we're still chasing them. We still have ground to cover, and they're still trying to pull away from us. I don't think that we can change. We've gotten better. We're producing better players. A lot of the guys you saw yesterday for the U.S. and in this event are playing at top clubs around the world, more so today than 10 years ago, 20 years ago. We just have to continue on the path that we're on and know that it's just going to be it's just going to take time. Every year, every World Cup, we'll get a little bit closer, and we're just waiting for that breakthrough moment. We didn't get it. We thought we were going to get it maybe yesterday, but we didn't get it.
Yeah, and on that point, quickly, how much bigger would that step have been if the U.S. team had advanced to the semifinals?
You mean how big of a step would it have been to play Spain, or how big of a step will we still be needing to take?
Oh, meaning the growth of the game, the momentum of the U.S. men's team moving up in the world standings, and the growth of the game in the United States. Basically, it stopped here. It stopped last night. So hopefully we keep that momentum going. But how much bigger of an impact would it have had if they had advanced?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you just get that many more fans, that many more people want to watch the next game, it's on a bigger stage. So, yeah, it would have helped a lot. Every round we got into, every time we made the next step, it helped close the gap and create more fans and more enthusiasm. Reaching a semifinal would have been huge.
Dale Schilly, thank you for talking soccer with us. We are looking forward to City SC getting back at it in a couple of weeks.
In 1 week.
Oh, yeah, 1 week. Yeah, I guess you're right.
1 week, yeah.
Sporting KC.
That's right. That's right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you. That is Dale Schilly. July 16th at Energizer Park. KC will be here in town, our rival. It's been a long time since City SC has played.
Yeah.
And looking forward to that getting back going. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji. It is the Chris and Amy Show, and did you see this next?
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You feel it every time you check out. Prices up, paychecks stretched, families squeezed. That's why Ann Wagner's fighting to get government off your back and out of your way. Wagner passed the largest tax cut in American history, expanded child tax credits, ended taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And Wagner is working to lower costs so families keep more of their hard-earned money. But Ann Wagner knows delivering for Missouri means more than just protecting their wallets. It means protecting our streets as well. That's why Wagner fought to secure our border, deport dangerous illegal aliens, partner with law enforcement, and put predators behind bars and off our streets so our neighborhoods and communities stay safe. Because real effective leadership protects what matters most: your money, your family, your safety. Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
The soundtrack of classic rock is coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6th. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner joining forces for one epic night of legendary hits and unforgettable memories. It's the Double Trouble Double Vision Tour. From Sweet Home Alabama to Cold as Ice. Don't miss your chance to experience these two Rock and Roll Hall of Fame acts in one incredible show. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can show you potential ways to develop a new stream of income that can last as long as you live. Kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Steve All today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 and schedule a custom income review at no charge. Or find us online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath. It's all about time.
Save time and money.
Do it now, don't wait till later. Call the top-notch renovator. It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
The smartest way to do your homework is Heckman Lumber.
Thinking about building a new deck? Start with the trained professionals at Hackman Lumber, home of one of the largest inventories of decking materials and accessories in Missouri. From treated lumber and cedar to all the leading names in decking, their team will help you choose the perfect materials for your dream deck. Then finish it off with endless railing options, balusters, and LED deck lighting to bring your backyard to life. Hackman Lumber will not be undersold on in-stock decking materials, guaranteed. Do it yourself? Their team is ready to help. Also, check out their expanded paint department with custom color matching. And don't forget, follow Hackman Lumber on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to catch weekly deals, specials, and project inspiration all season long. Or visit us at hackmanstl.com. Locations in St. Peters, Troy, and Pacific, Missouri.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
How you feeling, Amy?
Tired. What's up?
Well,
oh no.
Did you see that there's something going around?
Oh no! Don't tell me this.
Yeah, you're not gonna like this.
Is it the real bad one, like norovirus?
Kinda. Sounds like it. There is a new parasitic illness, not new, but it is exploding around the country. And I use exploding appropriately here in this case.
Okay.
Almost 700 cases reported in Michigan. There were more than 400 around 18 states of cyclopsoriasis. It is a parasitic illness that causes explosive, watery poo-poo. Yeah.
Psoriasis? I thought psoriasis
It's called
was...
cyclopsoriasis. Is how it's spelled. Cyclopsoriasis. And Michigan is getting hit really hard right now, but there are 18 states being affected. Cramps, nausea, fatigue, loss of appetite, low-grade fever, and puking. And then, of course, as the CDC, this is the CDC, watery diarrhea with frequent and sometimes explosive bowel movements.
From whence does it come?
Raw produce and water contaminated with human,
and rotisserie chickens.
And rotisserie chickens. So I'm in trouble.
That's why you had.
Okay.
Anyway, but it is rarely life-threatening. It's just very uncomfortable, and you can't go to work.
Well, just totally different topic here. Netflix. Maybe get your opinion on this. Did you guys see that Netflix second seasons are struggling? Meaning a show can launch like Avatar: The Last Airbender, debuted at 21.2 million views in its first 4 days on the platform. But then its second season had just 8.7 million views, almost 60% drop. And apparently a lot of these Netflix shows like Beef, One Piece, and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder all reported huge drops from their first year to their second year. Like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder dropped 80% from first season to second season. And one of the reasons listed for why maybe people lose interest is that there's just too much time between the first and second season. I know the Glover Show was talking about this yesterday, and Rachel said she was watching Stranger Things, but there was maybe, 3 years in between one of the seasons, and you just lose interest.
House of the Dragon.
Oh, yeah, Matt.
For between seasons 1 and I think they're on 3 now, right? I haven't started it yet. It just started a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week and a half. And I love that show. I will catch up with it. But there were like 2 or 3 years in between seasons 1 and 2. Come on, guys. If you're going to do a TV show, you got year to year.
Yeah.
You do it in 2026. The next season has to come out in 2027. Sorry.
I feel like you have to rewatch the show again to remember what you missed or to remember what you watched years ago. I can catch up.
Didn't you say when you watched House of the Dragon, you felt like I'd pay $1 million to see what happens next, and then 3 years pass and you just don't care?
They end the show with a cliffhanger, which a lot of shows do. Oh, I can't wait for the next season. And then you can't wait. And then it's 2 years later. I'm like, I kind of got over it and I forgot everything. So now I'm not really into it anymore.
It's momentum. You got to have some momentum.
That's how I felt with, I know it's not Netflix, but with The Mandalorian. I really liked that show. And then what was it, 2 years before the next season came? I don't even know because I stopped watching it. I don't watch it. I haven't seen any of it because it was too long of a break.
I totally appreciate the investment in these shows, and they look really good. They're kind of like extended movies. Yeah. I appreciate all that, but you can't take so much time in between because people will lose interest unless it's the best show they've ever seen. When we come back, we'll have hour 2 of 3 for you, and Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth, will join the show. Corporate profits and employee compensation are not aligned right now. What exactly is going on? We'll talk to Dave in a moment on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Maupin at biobalancehealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. Biobalancehealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Listen up. If you have not paid self-employment, business, or individual taxes in years, the IRS will find you. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. I offer real solutions. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Story, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. At the Lance Story Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock. We have sunshine and some clouds, 79 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. President Trump in Turkey for the NATO summit, touting his relationship with Turkish President Erdogan. Says he appreciates his relationship with Turkey more than his relationships with traditional NATO allies. Trump says he was disappointed U.S. allies didn't jump in to help with his war in Iran.
We didn't need any help at all. And in a way, I was testing people. I was testing to see whether or not they'd be there, because I've long said that we helped them, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. And Italy turned us down, and Germany turned us down, and France turned us down.
Speaking of Italy, Trump boasted that the Italian prime minister begged him for a picture with him to boost her ratings. She publicly denied that. Then Trump posted a Photoshop picture of the two of them, suggesting he needs a restraining order against her. The gap between what the U.S. imports and what it exports widened considerably in May. We get that from ABC's Jim Ryan.
As with so many facets of the economy, artificial intelligence is contributing to the trade deficit as more companies turn to AI, which in turn is heavily reliant on imports. The Commerce Department today released the numbers for May, finding that U.S. exports fell 3.2% that month. Imports rose 3.3%.
Ameren, Missouri, looking to raise rates again. The utility company asking state regulators to boost rates by $343 million, which would increase the average bill by about $13 a month. It comes a little after Ameren's last rate increase that upped bills by about $14 a month. If you're planning to drive I-70 overnight in Wentzville anytime soon, you may need to take another route.
Overnight interstate closure ahead. I'm Roger Brand. This week it's going to be Interstate 70 eastbound, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Wednesday through Friday, and the following Monday. Eastbound 70 is going to be closed at 64. You're going to use that eastbound 64 exit to get through the area. Southbound 61 drivers are going to have to go west on 70 to Z to turn around. And if you want to go northbound on 61, you're going to have to go east on 70 to Highway A to make the U-turn there. And be prepared for the closure of westbound 70 next week.
Missouri's Attorney General vowing to shut down an historic St. Louis building. Catherine Hanaway telling KMOV the Mark Twain Hotel downtown is a hellhole. This after years of resident complaints regarding drug use at the low-income housing units. Hanaway says her office has agreed to step in and is asking a judge to weigh in on the building's connection to drug activity and plans to take legal action over the living conditions there. The weather is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America 4th of July concert series.
Sunshine mixed with clouds, warm and humid this afternoon with a thunderstorm in spots later on, the high 87. Could be a thunderstorm in the area this evening. Otherwise, patchy clouds, warm and humid overnight, those 73. For tomorrow, times of sun and clouds, quite warm but humid again. A stray afternoon thunderstorm, high 89. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's cloudy with a bit of sun, 79 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Freedom 250. Join the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America July 1st through July 7th across St. Louis as we celebrate America's 250-year legacy with free concerts. No tickets required. Details at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Every Tuesday, we talk to Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth, and he's with us now on the Quiver River Electric guest line. It's hour 2 of 3 of the Chris and Amy show. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Chris. Hello, Amy.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
Well, a little depressed.
Uh-oh.
I mean, yeah, what you guys have been talking about, this soccer, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And to make it even worse for me, I actually happened to be at Busch Stadium when we blew a 3-0 lead last night. So
yeah, that wasn't good either.
I'm watching the soccer game on one hand on the phone and then watching the Cardinals blow a lead, and I went home like, well, that kind of sucked tonight.
Yeah, Ron, you were saying it was supposed to be like a great sports day or great sports couple of days, but it was a little rough. It was, that happens. It happens. We'll be fine. We'll bounce back. We're resilient.
was palpable, the energy downtown, especially around Ballpark Village, because they had the big screen and the soccer game, and you had the Cardinals and first place Brewers, and then all kind of went home with the heads hung low, but it happens.
Well,
corporate profits aren't, though.
Yeah, let's talk about corporate profits. They're through the roof, and it's not really in line with what employees are being paid. So what do the numbers here say?
Well, this is really fascinating, and it's a wake-up call, and this cannot be overstated. And I'm telling you, when people look around and say, you know, what is going on with this rise of these democratic socialists, and people want free everything, and especially the younger generation is pushing back. Well, let's not ignore it. I mean, I can sit here and easily say, oh my gosh, I mean, do these people even know what they're talking about? Mm-hmm. Pure socialism that bleeds into communism. It's never worked. And we can go on, but we have to look deeper and say, okay, but let's address why they are feeling this way. Why didn't the younger generation feel this way in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s? You'd have to go back to the 1920s when you had legitimate communists who were running for political office, and some of them actually winning. We haven't seen anything like this in nearly a century. Well, you guys were kind of hinting at this a little bit, but a new report is out that shows that workers the last couple of decades now have seen this big drop off on a percentage basis of the entire economic pie. While more of the percentage is going to corporations and corporate profits at the expense of workers. And this, and I forwarded that chart to you. Mm-hmm. It's really, really telling, where you see the trends all of a sudden reverse in the early 2000s, right after 9/11. And you look at this and you say, why? What happened? Why did all of a sudden we saw this thing that was consistent through the 50s, 60s, 70s, all the way up, and all of a sudden the last quarter century, boom, there's been this big reverse. It's called the lost decade of the 2000s. And I think it was good intentions of the government throwing a lot of money into the system after we had these back-to-back really bad bear markets, including the worst of all, the Great Recession. And then more recently, we had the COVID shutdown and trillions of dollars spent on that. Well, guess what, guys? The money has found its way to the top, more to the bottom. It's gone into the hands of a lot of corporations more than it has to just your regular blue-collar worker. Now, I'm not trying to sound populist here. I'm personally not taking any sides. I'm just giving you the facts. And these are facts that are going to have to be addressed from a political standpoint as much as anything.
How did this happen that you have this massive split recently where we talk about a K-shape, where it's kind of a K-shape with, like you said, a ton of money and economic gains flowing to shareholders and business owners, but the workers' share is dropping precipitously?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Amy. And it again, I get back to this interesting chart, and it took me a while. I studied it because it just came out, and this is from the Federal Reserve, and they go all the way back to when these reports started in 1948. So there's a really good sample size here. And all of a sudden, everything just turned 25 years ago. And I get to the fact that, okay, we had the Federal Reserve. I think we can point to the Fed as much as we can to Congress for some of the fault behind this, to say, we've got to come in and prop up the little guy. So I think the intentions are good. All right. So we've got this stock market that's crashing. We've got corporations laying off people. Well, let's flood the money. Let's flood the economic underbelly with a lot of money. Yes, it does go to the little guy too, but he's using it just to put food on the table. The money's also going to people in the upper income levels too that don't really need it, but it flows there as well. Let's look at more recently when the global economy was shut down because of COVID. We call it mailbox money. The government started sending out checks. Now, yes, there was an income limit, but it wasn't like 50,000 and under. You could have made six figures in your household. Both of you could have made six figures, husband and wife, and you were getting checks from the government. And it didn't matter if you still had your job and you were working. So people who didn't even need the money were taking this and just kind of socking it away. And now we get to another big issue is Social Security, and it is connected. There are folks that are making $5,000 a month in Social Security who have $20 or $30 million put away. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm not going to go there. They worked all their lives. They paid into the system. Again, I'm just providing the data here of how the rich are continuing to get richer and the poor are starting to struggle a little bit. And therein lies the connection to why we are seeing socialism on the rise. People who really don't know history to say that's not really an answer, but I get the response.
Dave Simons is with us on KMOX. So if that is the case, and we've seen that disparity continue to grow, and I know that there are some people who are tired of hearing about income inequality and the pay gap and all that stuff, but I mean, it's a reality, and if we don't address it, we're going to have a really big problem, or the problem will continue to grow. What's the best thing to be done here?
That question was coming, and I'm not trying to skirt this at all, because there are economists, there are sociologists all looking at this issue, and they all have different opinions and they all have different solutions. And it's probably beyond the confines of us just talking here for a few minutes to all of a sudden have the light bulb go off and go, oh, I know exactly how to fix it. How do you do it without the government getting more involved? That's the key. Because in some ways, the government, and we'll look at a quasi-governmental agency like the Fed, who's really kind of helped create this problem. How do we get this to stop? I don't know. I think everything should be put on the table, even things that I normally would be against, to say, you know, we should not put a cap on what somebody should make. This whole I hate the billionaire class kind of thing is not a solution. Okay, but I'm willing to listen. If you believe that, what is your solution? And show me the data how you think that will help. And I'm a free market capitalist through and through. But even that has to have some limits, and we have to talk to. So, Chris, I'm not trying to skirt the issue. It's so deep and multi-layered and multifaceted. It's going to take the entire country to look at this. And honestly, for the right kinds of politicians who aren't just falling back into pure socialistic drivel, to say there are some things there that we do need to address, and maybe we need some self-sacrifice along the way by people who actually have done very, very well.
Yeah, Dave, you know, my belief, and this comes from like my more conservative background, is that there is no such thing as a panacea. There's no utopia. So what you are dealing with then is a system that accommodates human nature and the autocorrective mechanism of reality. You see abuses, or you see at least a pendulum swinging where like businesses and corporations had power, but then the people pushed back and unions got more power and there were more workers' rights, and then businesses pushed back again and then the workers pushed back. Is this a normal pendulum swing, or do you see something fundamentally different about this?
Yeah, boy, that's a great question. I think it could be a little bit of both, Amy. And you had mentioned unions and what we would consider organized labor. That has to be a part of the equation. There's no doubt. The worker did have at one point a lot more power than he or she has today. And I think that's part of the reason that you've seen this big shift in the last quarter century. So do we swing back that way? Well, then how does that work? If corporate bosses have all the power right now, how is that wrested away and back into the hands of the common laborer? Well, it happens during times of turmoil and extremes. That's how it happened a century ago. People said, we're tired of having 12-year-olds work in the coal mines, and we're going to, and I don't want to work 80 hours a week or I get fired. People have had enough, and it's the old, take it to the man kind of thing. Are we heading in that direction? Maybe. And maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. We don't need to topple economically this country. We don't need to topple what has made it great. And that is that the entrepreneurial spirit in this country, we do not want to throw water on. But there's got to be a way that we can now open up the opportunities for everybody that have slowly been closed. Let me tell you that another thing that we cannot ignore about this K-shaped economy is this bull market in stocks. So people with money, again, continue to make more and more and more and more, while somebody else says, man, I'm just kind of I'm just trying to keep up. You're talking about maxing out a 401k. I can't put $50 into one right now. And so they're continuing to get left behind. So I love the fact that you've got these things like the Trump accounts that are out now, which I know we've talked about in the past. But this is just the start. More and more things need to be looked at like this. So the government can help and open up opportunities. And I think people need to maybe research Trump accounts for their kids and grandkids for the future, too.
Well, this seems like an unsustainable thing where if it continues to worsen, there will be some sort of breaking point. I don't know what that looks like, but it's not going to be good. So I do feel like we need to be a little proactive here or we can be in some trouble.
And you're seeing it politically. And it's not just New York anymore. You're seeing it in a lot of other spots around the country. And so, this is the beginning where people are starting to push back. Not necessarily in the most healthy way, but I get it.
Yeah, and Dave, and actually, because we actually had a texter about the Nordic method, and I've been, looking at what we're seeing with Zoran Mamdani in New York, for instance, but there is a difference between democratic socialism, which would be the AOC and the Zoran Mamdani, and social democracy, whereas basically social democracy uses capitalism to fund welfare, whereas as far as democratic socialism goes to transform capitalism. And when you look at the Nordic models, what's kind of interesting is Sweden, which, had a lot of cradle-to-grave state-run programs, is moving towards a more capitalistic society to fund the welfare. Half of primary health care clinics now are privately owned. 1 in 3 public schools is privately run. School operators are listed on the stock exchange. And I guess my question is, if we look at Europe and see, okay, how is the Nordic method working there, which I know is a very different country than the United States, can we learn from each other? Like, can we see this is where capitalism can be abused and this is where social democracy can be abused?
Amy, everything should be on the table. That's exactly right. You look at, I think about the Tennessee Valley Authority during the 1930s and 40s and 50s, and actually it still technically exists today. But this was a government-run program that really benefited so much of the country. Look at the state of Alaska. They've got one of the great economic systems around there to take care of their citizens because they use oil reserves to basically pay out pensions to many of its citizens. Now, I'm not saying we can do that across the fruited plain, but my point is it can work. You can have government that is a friend of business as opposed to them having diametrically opposed solutions and ideas, every man for himself. And I think to Chris's point, I think we're getting to this area now where people are finally starting to say, I've had enough. I hope it doesn't break, and I hope we can come up with some reasonable solutions before we get to that. But I'll leave you to this. Again, it gets back to politics. So 2026 midterms and 2028, and we're going to hear a lot about the broken economic system. And I just fear for what some people consider to have a solution for that.
Dave Simons, appreciate you. We'll talk next week.
All right. Take care, guys.
Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth on the Quiver River Electric guest line. We appreciate him every week. Cardinals, by the way, announced that Matt Swanson will start game 1 today. And then Hunter Dobbins will pitch game 2. Hunter's being called up as the extra guy because they have the doubleheader today. First game is happening at 1:15 with a 12:20 pregame show here on KMOX.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know, we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 also kill majority rule?
Yup. Creates minority rule, where just 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one Missouri congressional district that block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass common-sense conservative citizen ballot measures.
That's crazy town stuff.
And we've needed our citizen ballot measure power to pass some big conservative stuff, like outlawing tax hikes without voter approval, lobbyist reforms, and term limits for career politicians.
No way I'm letting a tiny fraction of liberals derail our conservative power. I'm no on Amendment 4.
hard no on 4.
Pay 4 buttons or inch prepare governance.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And I like to joke, and I say it all the time, like my work with FanDuel Sportsbook goes well beyond the time that it came online in Missouri. I used to have to travel to play. Not anymore. Now I get to play at home, and you can too, whether it's baseball season, whether it's hockey, basketball, football, and now soccer. On the biggest stage of the world, FanDuel is stepping up. They are changing the game because sometimes the player you've got gets subbed off, and your bet goes off with them, but not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. So that's right. So if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it to the final whistle. No need to go anywhere. You just hang in there. You still got your shot. But visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. Super easy to do. And let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The financial industry is getting rich on baby boomers. Don't be their next victim. Find out the truth of what's really going on in the retirement industry. Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
Get ready for a night back with legendary hits and non-stop energy. Bryan Adams is bringing the Roll with a Bunches tour to Enterprise Center Friday, July 24th.
Hello, this is Bryan Adams.
Sing along to the classics as Bryan Adams delivers an unforgettable night of rock anthems. Plus, special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Bryan Adams, July 24th. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Oh man, I'm kind of mad that I missed Muse on Sunday.
I can't believe you missed Muse. I saw producer Matt Pajeski was there.
I didn't miss it. I thought I was going to be gone, then I wasn't, and then I forgot, and Pajeski sent me a photo.
Up close and personal.
Was it good?
Matt Bellamy. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Was it better than Chaffetz?
Yes, it was.
Sorry.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
They're so good.
Well, you're also going to be sad that you don't have a house in Boulder, Colorado. So we have people asking. Apparently, everybody was spreading lies and rumors about where I was. I was in Colorado. I was in the mountains hiking. Apparently, I was off the grid. And but I say this because we had some people text, where was I? I was in Colorado. Well, you know the Sundance Film Festival, the Robert Redford Sundance Film Festival?
Yes.
That's always in Sundance, Utah, but it has grown so big that they can't host it in Utah anymore. So they've moved it to Boulder, Colorado. Now, it's a big film festival, and celebrities and stars go there. And you know when you have these big events, we've all seen it where you can, rent a house. And I don't know, I guess in my head, I pictured it like an Airbnb when you rent out your house, because I stayed at an Airbnb and there was it was a condo. But it's quite different for the celebrities and the very, very, very wealthy. So a couple that I met live in Boulder. And they have a nice house in Boulder. And they were approached by a company partnered with the Sundance Film Festival and said, would you like to rent out your house for the Sundance Film Festival? Like, we're looking for people who are willing to rent out their very nice houses to Hollywood stars and who else. And it's a whole ordeal. Ranj, they're renting out their house for 14 nights. Okay.
Okay.
For $10,000 a night.
$10,000 a night
For 14
How
nights.
big is the house? Bedrooms, all that stuff?
It's big. It's like a 6-bedroom, 2-story big house. I mean, it's a very nice house. Like the people who own the house are doing very well.
Yeah.
They're not short on cash because Tom Cruise wants to stay at a really nice house in Boulder, and they have the Flatirons as their backdrop. So they're renting out the house, and the company says, here's what we have to do. You have to move out of the house completely. All of your stuff, all of your clothes, your storage, your bikes, your skis, whatever's in your basement, every closet, every drawer needs to be completely moved out as if no one lives in this house, except for the approved decoration that's there, obviously because it's a nice house, it has nice decoration, and you keep, I believe, the dishes there, and they have to be approved, but they even take your sheets, your bedding,
What
your
about
pillows.
your photos? Like you have photos
everything.
on the wall.
You got to take everything down. Yep.
Okay.
And the company will, then you put it in storage, and then the company brings in, high quality sheets and bedding and all of this. And so she said it's basically a huge pain because you are literally moving out of your house and then moving back in. But she said, even if it costs us $20,000 to have the company pack everything up and store it,
You're still making money.
you're still making $120,000 because it's $140,000 for 2 weeks. And I was thinking, she's like, I will deal with the inconvenience even if it costs you $40,000, which it's not going to cost them $40,000 to pack up their house and stay somewhere for 2 weeks. It's just not. They have friends, they have family. But even if it were to cost you $40,000, you make $100,000. Would you do it? Is this something you would do?
Well, yeah. I mean, if somebody else is doing the packing for me.
Yeah, you hire someone.
Yeah, you hire somebody to pack up your house for you and take you away.
Didn't you?
Sure.
I guess I never thought of, because I've stayed at Airbnbs, I never thought of the really, really expensive houses that it has to look like you don't live there, that they take down all your pictures.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. That's a new thing. My
because
roommate,
it's not really Airbnb. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's the next level.
Yeah.
It's luxury renting.
my roommate in Wrigleyville, when I moved out, I moved to St. Louis. He still owned the place, and he decided to Airbnb that place, and it
Yeah.
was about not a block, half block from the ballpark.
Yeah.
He was getting $3,000 a weekend for it,
I mean, that's...
which is, I mean, it's not $10,000 a day, but $3,000
Yeah.
for Friday, Saturday night, got to leave Sunday. That's not bad.
That's not bad. You go
Yeah.
stay with a friend. And the thing is, like I said, when you stay at regular, not even Airbnbs, but condos, the family's pictures are on the wall and on the dressers. That's just,
Yeah,
here's
you
the
just
family
kinda- right.
Yeah. Anyway, isn't that wild?
Kinda love it.
never thought about that. But wouldn't you want to know, is it the Kardashians who's staying at my house?
They probably don't tell you ever, do they?
I'm guessing they don't.
They could maybe drop hints.
I think you could find out if you really wanted to.
Cardinals have a doubleheader today. It is what they call a split doubleheader. That means 1:15 is game one, and then 6:45 is the second. And obviously, both games are going to be right here on KMOX. When we come back, we'll talk a little Cardinals baseball. Polo Asensio, broadcaster for the Spanish language side on La Tremenda. He will be with us in a moment on KMOX.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales, and voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
82 degrees right now, real field temperature 97. Could be an occasional thunderstorm this afternoon, a high of 85. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 71.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, score a free repair or replacement quote and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
I'm John Morgan. There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Reason number 3. First, all lawyers are not the same. If my family had an injury case and I couldn't hire us, there are only about 3 to 4% of the lawyers out there that I would hire. And here's why. Most of them rarely, if ever, go to trial. They just take the last best offer. Hell, you can do that yourself. Do this if you're looking for a lawyer. Google Morgan & Morgan results and see what comes up. It may shock you. Then Google the firm you're thinking of hiring and do the same. That may shock you as well. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. We won a lot. $30 billion and counting. Morgan & Morgan. For the people.com. Who would I hire? I'd hire us.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
An EV startup is looking to jolt the market with an electric pickup priced under $25,000. Slate Auto debuted the Blank Slate, a no-frills two-seat pickup truck that has hand-cranked windows, no infotainment screen, and gray is the only color, while there is a 5-seat SUV version that pushes the price to $30,000. Slate Auto expects to start delivering the Blank Slate by the end of this year. I'm Jason Brooks.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Ahí está, vamos. A Jardín Central, y ahí está el imparable 2000 para Yadier, el marciano Molina, que apunta al cielo. Yo sé que está aguantando las lágrimas, se mete en la historia.
That is the voice of Polo Asensio, who is on the Spanish language broadcast for the Cardinals on La Tremenda 880. And he, along with Benji Molina, bring you nightly baseball with the Cardinals in Spanish. And we will talk to Polo in just a moment. And he is with us now, actually, on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Cardinals have a doubleheader today. First game is at 1:15. We got the pregame show at 12:20. They have listed their starters for today. So Matt Swanson will pitch in game 1, Hunter Dobbins in game 2. Polo, what's going on?
Matt Swanson will pitch and start game 1. That's an interesting development. Then again, it's a 5-game series against Milwaukee, 4 games, no days off. For those that think that managing a baseball team is easy, go figure that one out, because it's not easy, boys and girls. It's not easy, boys and girls. Buenos días, Chris. Buenos días, Amy. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están todos ustedes?
Hey, BBN, we're doing great. I think both of us are. Not as well. Well, actually,
Okay,
I think
yeah.
we're all doing better than the U.S. men's national team and the Mexico team.
What a show that was, man. I mean, dude, I don't want to get in trouble with anybody, but yeah, that was interesting. The whole thing was very interesting. Sometimes you don't mess with sports gods. I'm a believer of baseball gods. Now I'm starting to believe on the soccer or football gods. And what happened yesterday, yeah, it was interesting.
Polo, is it the same deity, or are they completely separate? Baseball and football, soccer.
Oh, when it comes down to the gods are the gods, Amy. The gods are the gods. You are a goddess. The guy next to you is not. He's more of a joker with a 4-point hat. But
4-point
yeah.
hat. What's wrong with this guy?
But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I hope everybody is enjoying the World Cup. If you follow me on social media at Polo's View, you know that I've been having a blast with my friends at Ballpark Village. Today, in between games, I'm hoping for the first game to go fast, so I have a chance to go and enjoy some of Colombia's game today, right across the street from Busch Stadium. And that place has been rocking, man. I mean, I know there's Energizer Park, there's a lot of places to watch and enjoy soccer, but when you get together with thousands and thousands of people to cheer on your favorite team, your country, your nation, or just be there with your friends, I mean, that's what sports should be. That's what sports is. Let's keep all kinds of crazy politics out of it. That's what sports should be. Especially when you're representing a nation. With me, I mean, you know this, and if you don't know, I'm sure you can tell by my accent, I am Mexican. I'm proudly a proud Mexican, but I've been living in the United States for over 20 years. So yes, I was cheering for Mexico. Yes, I was close. I was very closely following the United States, hoping for them to have a better showing than yesterday. It didn't happen. Now it's time for me to actually enjoy the World Cup without biting my nails. And I'm excited for whatever is happening next. I mean, hopefully, let the best team win.
And Polo, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I was there for the first Mexico game in the group stage, and it looks like those watch parties got increasingly more chaotic. Because
it was a happy, chaotic environment. And for the last one against England, the line outside of Ballpark Village went around the block. And they were not letting people in. I mean, if 2 people went out, 2 people came in. That's how packed it was. And I'm going to say overall, it was a great experience. Even for the 6 English soccer fans that were in there, they had a blast. Like, for real, I talked to them, and I didn't know who they were. I guess it's a podcast from England that has been following the World Cup. They're going to be around the nation, United States, for 39 days following the World Cup. And they stopped in St. Louis. I don't know why, because, we didn't have a game or anything. But they stopped in St. Louis. They showed up at Ballpark Village, and they told me at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end that this is the best environment we've been around the World Cup. And mind you, they were in Miami. They even threw a first pitch, I believe, in Miami or in Texas I think it was for the Marlins. So it was Miami. And they said, look, we went to Miami. We went to a couple of games, and nothing compares to what we are experiencing here in St. Louis. So thank you to all the soccer fans in St. Louis. And let's keep enjoying the World Cup. And I know you didn't call me to talk about the World Cup, but you know what? That's what we are.
World Cup's still a story, man. It's still a very big story, even if both of our teams are out of it.
And it's cool to see that was taking place at Ballpark Village. Awesome to see so many people celebrating. I saw some of the videos and just all the fans from Mexico. It was very cool, Polo.
Yeah, no, we tried. Like Chris said, he was there for the first game, and then he decided to stop the next few games, probably because of the guy that was hosting the watch parties was like kind of harassing him.
He was.
His
name was Polo.
With a mask. With a mask and a microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, what he was doing, he was trying to help Chris find his future wife. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's looking for one or not, but this guy was offering anything you can think of to marry Chris, and there was no takers. So Chris,
lost.
You might be at the end, as many ladies have said in the past, you might be the issue, not the ladies.
It's not. Trust me, it's not me. I'm a great boyfriend.
Yes, you are.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
No, the word "great" does not come to mind.
Well,
but, hey, how about Cardinals baseball, guys?
Yeah, so regarding the Cardinals, here they are. They are a half game out of a playoff spot right now. They've been kind of toying with that wild card spot for several weeks now, and the competition, Polo, is getting a little tougher right now.
But haven't we we've been saying that for a month and a half now? Oh, this next road trip. Oh, this next homestand. And what happens? The guys deliver. They are still playing over 500. They are in, like you say, playoff contention. We're almost into game 90. That's it. I believe today is 88 and 89 for the Cardinals. And we are there. Now, my question is, Chris, where are the fans? Yesterday, 21,000 fans, and I'm going to say a lot of those, maybe half, were cheering for the Brewers in St. Louis. And you can say anything you want, right? But their tickets are not that expensive. Obviously, if you want to buy a $100, $200 ticket, by all means. But where are the fans? This team is fighting. This team is very entertaining. This team is winning. And the fans are not showing up. I really don't understand that. As a fan of baseball, I do not understand that part.
Well, do you know what it is? I think it takes a little bit of time. It always does with every team that is playing well. There's always a lag. It always takes, I don't know, maybe some months or maybe even a season. Like, they probably have to be pretty good for the remainder of the year, and then maybe next year you'll start to see more people show up. Because a lot of people do make their plans to see a baseball game well in advance, like maybe even before the season starts, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Again, I just scratched my head, and yesterday when they announced the 21,000, I was like, whoa, that's low. But anyway, hey, the guys are playing, 21,000 or 40,000, they do their best. They do what they do. Like I said at the beginning, the manager is doing a fantastic job managing all the roster moves, the guys coming up, the guys going down. And it's a good time to be a Cardinal fan because we are watching, we are looking, we're experiencing something that we haven't in a long time. I mean, I've been here for 10, 11 seasons now, and I've never seen this. Young guys, everybody is really young, and they are playing very good baseball. With Jordan Walker being Jordan Walker, with J.J. Weatherholt being J.J. Weatherholt, anybody you play at third, Jose Fermin, Blaze Jordan, Alec Burnett, everybody is doing what they can and making things happen. The next 4 games against Milwaukee are going to be brutal for both teams, but I do believe that this team is going to do better than last night. Last night, I'm going to be honest. When people ask me about how do you feel about Mexico and England, right? That game, and I said this: when you give a good team a little window, they will make an avenue out of it, and that's what happened to Mexico against England. They give them a little window, 2 minutes of not being focused, and what happens? They scored 2 goals. Yesterday, what happened here? We're up 3-0. In the 7th inning, a freak injury to Brule made the manager get him out a batter early, and what happened? The next batter made him pay with a double. They scored 2 runs for the Brewers. When you face a good team like the Brewers, you need to almost play perfect baseball, just like playing against the Phillies, just playing against the Dodgers. And that's what happened yesterday. But again, today, as I'm here sitting in our booth, I already see some guys taking grounders. I already see some guys running around. And yes, it's 2 games, but these guys are there grinding. And they're not going to look back at what happened last night. To quote Oasis, my new favorite least favorite band.
Oh, stop it.
Don't look back in anger. Do not look back in anger. Let's look forward, because the forward of this St. Louis Cardinals team, I see it nothing but brightness. Shiny days ahead, boys and girls.
Okay. Well, we have no choice but to trust Polo.
Well, I see it. I believe it.
Yeah.
You trust me, Chris, and perhaps one day you will be happily married.
He's really getting you.
Trying to pawn me off on somebody.
He is.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
But. No. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
You guys know I like you guys. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't even answer the text.
That is true.
Trust me. There's people around a few radio stations that I don't even answer their text. I don't.
Why?
But you guys, anytime you want me, we can talk about baseball. We can talk about soccer. We can talk about anything. We can talk about life.
Yep.
Amy, you got any life questions for Polo?
I know. I'm trying to think. Polo, what is your number 1 piece of marriage advice for Ranj?
Oh, God.
She is always right.
All right.
Yep. That's a good one. This guy knows his stuff.
She is always right. She is always right. Even when she's not, she is always right. And, wake up earlier if you can. Make coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And if she says that the coffee is too strong, then the coffee is too strong. If she says the coffee is too weak, the coffee is too weak. So you do what she says.
Okay.
Christopher, if that's your real name, Christopher.
You're a man of wisdom, Polo.
Yeah.
I'm a man of a lot of things.
That's right. Renaissance man.
Polo, you got a doubleheader today. You're doing both games. How many, approximate, give me a guess. How many words do you think you'll speak today?
100 million.
Yeah, It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have no idea, Chris. You know what? That's a good thing. Maybe one day, if anybody knows about a system or a thing that I could just put in front of me and count the words, that's you know what? And then we can do a contest. And the lady who gets closest to the number gets to marry Chris Johnson.
There you go.
This is good.
I do think it's probably a couple million words.
I think it's a lot of words, but I also think it would be interesting to compare calls, right? Polo, you could look at the word count of your various home run calls, for instance.
Oh no, I mean, if you again goes back to soccer, if you watch Telemundo broadcast in Spanish, and if you watch Fox in English, you know that Telemundo has Fox beaten by at least half or double the words.
That is true.
You know, you see the memes, you see it on Instagram, and there's like Petri to McKenna to Pulisic. That's 6-7 words in Spanish. Petri con la pelota se la pasa a McKenna por lo izquierdo se la pasa a Pulisic que avanza hasta el fondo del área. So that right there, it's triple the word.
That's you're totally right.
You know what, Chris? you should listen in Spanish. Amy, you should listen in English today to our broadcast.
Okay.
And count. You count my words.
Okay.
Count my words, Christopher Ranji.
Okay.
Count my words. And then, Amy, you can count John Rooney. Then again, Rooney and Ricky, they do a couple of innings each every game. Yeah. I do the whole game. And Benji is next to me, providing color to the play-by-play. So right there, I have them both beat.
There's no by yourself combined. Polo Asensio.
It takes one Mexican.
It does. That's right. Polo, we love you.
Oh,
enjoy the baseball today.
Yep.
Listen, I know we didn't talk a lot about baseball, but it's too early. Let's not get that serious. Let's enjoy life. Let's enjoy the World Cup. Let's enjoy the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's enjoy the ride. Whatever ride you're on, it could not be the best ride. It could be the Tower of Terror in Disneyland, or it could be just a sip and slide in the middle of Forest Park. Enjoy that ride, because when it ends, you're going to say, damn, I missed that ride.
You got it, buddy. You were right.
Thank you, Polo.
Thank you, Polo.
Wise words.
Let's go. Hey, and I can say this. Today is Tuesday. 2-game Tuesday, and it is Taco Tuesday.
There you go.
Polo Asensio. Cardinals Spanish language broadcaster on La Tremenda 880 with us on KMOX. And yes, 2 games today, 1:15 for game 1, 6:45 for game 2. Swanson goes in game 1. Dobbins will pitch in game 2 for the Cardinals. It's the Chris and Amy show on KMOX. And as you heard Polo mention, the World Cup is still going on. Soccer is happening. Maybe not for the men's national team, the U.S. Maybe not for Mexico any longer. Maybe not for the other host nation in Canada. But the tournament is still happening. It's the biggest stage in the world. And FanDuel wants to keep you involved. So here's why. Because maybe you have placed a wager on a particular player. And then as the game goes on, that player gets subbed out. Happened last night for the U.S. Their best player got subbed out of the game. Had an injury to deal with. Well, normally if that happens, your bet goes with him, which isn't the best way to do it. So FanDuel introduced Super Sub. So FanDuel Super Sub allows you to keep your bet in with the substitute who comes in for the player that you put a wager on, which is way better, and it allows you to stay involved all the way up until the final whistle. FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's where you go to sign up if you haven't done it yet. FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This year, America celebrates 250 years. 2.5 centuries of courage, sacrifice, and family stories passed down from one generation to the next. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger, founders of Legacy Box. Your family's piece of the American story is sitting in an attic or closet right now, trapped on aging VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, film reels, and fading photos.
Those boxes hold moments you can never recreate. Your wedding day, your children's voices when they were little, grandparents coming back to life on screen.
Over 2 million families have trusted Legacy Box. And we've just partnered with the USO to digitize fragile handwritten letters from World War II, helping preserve American history for future generations.
As America turns 250, remember that your family is a part of the American story. Preserving those voices, faces, and moments is a part of your responsibility to the next generation. Don't let them disappear on your watch.
Visit legacybox.com/radio for our amazing America 250 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to save.
You feel it every time you check out. Prices up, paychecks stretched, families squeezed. That's why Ann Wagner's fighting to get government off your back and out of your way. Wagner passed the largest tax cut in American history, expanded child tax credits, ended taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And Wagner is working to lower costs so families keep more of their hard-earned money. But Ann Wagner knows delivering for Missouri means more than just protecting their wallets. It means protecting our streets as well. That's why Wagner fought to secure our border, deport dangerous illegal aliens, partner with law enforcement, and put predators behind bars and off our streets so our neighborhoods and communities stay safe. Because real effective leadership protects what matters most: your money, your family, your safety. Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Coming up at 11 o'clock, well, maybe about 10 minutes from now to be exact, Dennis Hancock, St. Louis County Councilman, District 3. He is a candidate for county executive. He is going to be with us here on the show. We did talk to Brian Williams, who's also running for county executive last week. All of the candidates, it's open. If you want to talk to us, the availability is there for you. So we'll talk to Dennis Hancock, who is running unopposed as a Republican. And he will be here on the show in, like I said, about 10 minutes. We appreciate you being with us. And we do have our question of the week, Amy Marks Kors. And what you need to do is follow us on Twitter at ChrisAmyKMOX. And you need to vote in our question of the week and participate in our poll.
All right, here it is. It's up at, like Ron says, at ChrisAmyKMOX. Question of the week: CDs, DVDs, vinyl. Oh my. Do you still buy physical media? And if so, what do you buy? And I believe that this was inspired by the Xbox PlayStation is no longer making.
They say by the year 2028, they will no longer produce discs for their games. So you have to buy it through the digital marketplace. Yeah. Which I'm not a huge gamer. Back in the day I was, but it just kind of bums me out because that means GameStop's going to be gone soon. I mean, they'll sell other games for other consoles, I'm sure, but it just makes me sad. It's like, Blockbuster going away. And it makes sense because everything can be streamed, games, movies, music, all that. But it's just another thing that's gonna go away in our lifetime, and it's just kind of sad.
The convenience is nice.
Yes.
It's nice that I want to watch a movie, any movie in history, I can pretty much access it from my living room.
Or
I can find it, I can pay for it, and it shows up.
Or a song like traveling, driving in the
Yes.
car. This past week, having Spotify playlists, you can curate your own playlists. You can have Spotify curate for you. And any type of music, any genre, any band, any artist, right at your fingertips.
But there is something that I did enjoy about going to a Blockbuster and on a Friday night hoping that movie was there.
Oh, it's the best.
You're like, oh, God, I hope it's there. And then it wasn't like on the shelf. And you go, dang it. So then you go up to the front where people have just dropped off movies and they haven't been put back on the shelves yet. And then you pick through the pile and there it is. Man, I think there is something valuable about not getting what you want exactly whatever you want it.
There
and
is.
right away, like having to seek it out and maybe, it's not here. I guess I'll have to wait. I think you learn a valuable lesson by having to wait sometimes.
Remember the new releases? You could only keep them for 24 hours because usually with some movies you could keep them 3 days, even 5 days with the older movies. But with the new releases, you had to get on a list. 24 hours, you could watch it. I mean, it was just so exciting. And there's something fun about holding the art in your hand, whether it's vinyl or a CD or a movie.
It feels more tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Chris and Amy at Chris Amy KMOX on Twitter. Vote in our question of the week. Do you still buy physical media? Yes, no. And then you tell us if you do, what it is that you purchased. Tell us all about it. At Chris Amy KMOX. When we come back, County Councilman in St. Louis, District 3, Dennis Hancock, will join the show. He is running for county executive, and he'll be with us next on KMOX.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Things in Washington, D.C. may seem unsettled at times by their lack of progress, but one department in the U.S. government is progressing. That is the IRS. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS is in full function to collect on unpaid taxes. If you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and get it resolved. Don't think the government is too busy to focus on my issues. Too many of my clients thought the same. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Lance Story Law Firm. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Or call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceStoryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 11 o'clock, and in downtown St. Louis, it's cloudy and 82 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. St. Louis city leaders still considering a bill to regulate data center zoning rules. The Board of Aldermen expected to take up a bill at a meeting that's getting underway right now at City Hall. It should include time for public comment. President Trump at the NATO summit in Turkey tells reporters that one major cause of his rift with NATO allies is because they wouldn't let him have Greenland.
That's what hurt my relationship with NATO, because Greenland doesn't help Denmark. Denmark doesn't spend money to really help Greenland, but it's an important part for the United States. And it's surrounded by China ships and Russian ships.
Greenland is a semi-autonomous territory controlled by Denmark and under NATO protections of sovereignty. Trump went on to say he appreciates his relationship with Turkey more than those of his NATO allies. Meanwhile, at least 18 people hurt after explosions rocked the Syrian capital of Damascus this morning. ABC News foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge says that blast occurred not far from where French President Emmanuel Macron was reportedly staying ahead of his meeting with the Syrian president.
Macron had already left his hotel early this morning to go to meet al-Shara at the presidential palace in Damascus. And it was a short time after that there were two explosions not far from the hotel, believed to be car bombs, detonated remotely.
Illinois Governor Pritzker signing a new law allowing assisted living residents to install security cameras for their personal use to help stay in touch with relatives or for protection against abuse. Illinois House Assistant Majority Leader Ann Williams says for families, a camera can provide a level of comfort and reassurance that their loved one is safe and well. Residents who have a camera installed must do so with the consent of any roommates and mark their door with signs notifying people of that camera. A Hazelwood commercial bakery is set to close, costing hundreds their jobs.
Nature's Bakery, which produces snacks for the Mars family of companies, will close in 2027, according to a layoff notice. 130 employees will be cut from their jobs on September 11th, with another round of 215 layoffs coming at the end of February. Employees have already been notified and will have the opportunity to seek other employment within the company. Nature's Bakery will move their manufacturing to other plants, according to the notice. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
This afternoon will be warm and humid with sunshine and some clouds. A spotty thunderstorm during the afternoon or early evening hours, high 87. Fair skies tonight, warm and sticky, low 73. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, quite warm and humid, a chance of an afternoon thunderstorm, the high 89. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is cloudy downtown with a little bit of sun coming through. It's 82 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Why pay full insurance when you can customize and save? Switch to Liberty Mutual and they'll customize your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Coming up on August 4th is the primary for St. Louis County Council, that election. We did speak to Democratic candidate Brian Williams last week. And today we have Republican candidate Dennis Hancock, who is currently councilman in District 3 and, again, is running unopposed as a Republican. Dennis Hancock with us in studio. Good to have you. How are you, Councilman?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Well, we are looking ahead to this primary, which for you is a little bit different because you are running unopposed. What happens then in the process leading up to August 4th?
Well, it gives me an opportunity to really get out and meet people and to build support behind me within the party and go into the general election in November with a united front. And so I think that, it's helped me in that regard. It's helped me connect with a lot of people that I probably wouldn't have had time to connect with had I had a primary opponent.
What is your primary motivation for running for St. Louis County Executive?
Well, I've been on the county council now for 4 years. I was a mayor for 12 years, mayor of Fenton. And what I saw during those times was how government can work. And over the last 4 years, I've seen how government doesn't work. The St. Louis County has some serious issues to solve. And nobody seems to be stepping up that has any real experience solving those issues. The budget, for example. When I was the mayor, we lost the 2 Chrysler plants that were located in Fenton, and that equated to about 15% of our budget. So we had to find ways to either reduce spending or increase revenue, which means raising taxes. We chose to go down the path of cutting spending, and we were able to find programs that were really nice programs, but they benefited small numbers of people, and they really didn't benefit much of many of our residents. So what we did, we targeted those, but we also then made sure that everybody understood why we're doing what we're doing and what the driver was. And at the end of the story, we got there and didn't, like I said, we didn't raise taxes. We didn't even consider raising taxes at the time.
So there is a budget problem in St. Louis County, and that is something that the entire council has been struggling with. What is your specific fix to that problem?
Well, I think one of the things that we've done and that I've suggested, and we've implemented this a couple of years ago, was really sitting down, looking at what is the budget ask. What does each department have to do? What should they do? And what are the nice to haves that are in their budget? And we start with looking at, can we do, if you're asking for $10 million for this program, what does 5 get you? It's very similar to the process that people go through in their own homes. If you lose your job, you can't, maybe you have to postpone that vacation you were going to take. If somebody, starts a new job, but they're not making as much money as they were before, maybe you have to make adjustments to your lifestyle. And that's kind of the approach that we've taken with government for the last couple of years. Unfortunately, the county executive hasn't really gone along with the plan, and we started this year with an $80 million budget gap. And his suggestion was to take the RAM settlement money and fill the gap with that. The problem with that is it's one-time money. It doesn't solve any underlying causes, and it doesn't really address the root cause of the problem, which is we're spending money faster than it's coming in.
How quickly has that St. Louis County budget grown in the years since you've been on the council, and even mayor in Fenton, paying attention to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's always going to be inflation. And so you're going to have to adjust for that at some point in time, but typically revenues stay up with the rate of inflation as well. So once you reach a comfortable level, it's very easy to stay in that balanced mode. What we've done on the council, though, with the infusion of first the CARES Act money and then the ARPA funds, I think municipalities and governments across the country got used to having big chunks of money coming in, and it's water finds its own level. So does spending in government. If you get $100 million thrown at you, you're going to spend $100 million, and unfortunately, a lot of times you start programs that have to be funded continually in order to continue them. So I think we've gotten ourselves into that mode in St. Louis County, and trying to claw those programs back or shrink those programs is very, very difficult.
So what is the best use for those funds? I mean, we're talking about one-time money here, and I agree with you. It doesn't really seem to make much sense to fill a budget gap with that, because then you still got to worry about next year. So what is the right thing to do with that?
One of the things that a lot of people toss the word around that, to make them transformational. Well, I don't know what that means in terms of government. Government is very basic stuff. It's pick up the trash, fix the streets, make sure that public safety is accounted for. So what are those needs that we have to do? Well, we have a lot of streets in our county that are in a huge state of disrepair. The council allocated $40 million last year out of the NFL settlement to fix some of those subdivision streets that had never been touched since they were built 25, 30, 40 years ago. In fact, a lot of them look like they were never paved, and so because they just fall apart if you don't maintain them. So maintaining those streets gets the people who are the taxpayers a return on their investment, but it's also a good way for us to build up our infrastructure needs so that we don't have to touch general revenue funds for a good while to make those same repairs.
If you were to become county executive, would you then work with the council to continue making cuts to try to balance the budget a bit better?
I would. I think that's where you have to start. Before you go to the voters and ask for them to approve a tax increase of some kind, you need to be able to prove to them that you've been good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. And I don't know that we can make that case in St. Louis County at this time. I see a lot of programs that we have that they're nice programs and they benefit some people, but are they necessary for the basic function of government? When I get complaints all the time about people whose trash isn't getting picked up, and from people who can't sign up for the senior tax freeze because things aren't working, those are the things that we need to really look at. And I think those are the things that we need to be looking at spending our money on, is improving those things. Another thing that our budget director likes to say, we're running a 2025 government on a 1985 IT platform. We need to make investments in our infrastructure at the county level to improve the quality of service that we give to our residents.
When you say that, are you talking about the website? We actually have a listener texting in asking about the county website and access for residents in St. Louis County and how they can interact with the county and get services, pay taxes and so forth.
Yeah, to me, I find that the county's website is not very intuitive. Yeah. When you try to navigate through it, and I know what I'm looking for, and I can't find it. So those types of things they're not difficult problems to solve. It's just a matter of sitting down and doing it, and that's one of the things I think that I bring that maybe some others don't have. My experience with government and in the private sector, I've been managing people and processes and budgets for probably longer than I should admit to, but it's. To me, those are the kinds of things that we need leadership in government to help solve and identify those problems, figure out a way to do it. And, if we can do it faster, better, cheaper than we've been doing it, great.
Candidate for St. Louis County Executive Dennis Hancock is with us. And as you know, the political reality of the county is that there has not been a Republican in that seat since the early 90s.
Right.
So, and you are running unopposed as a Republican. On the Democratic side, there are three candidates. We spoke to one last week, Brian Williams. How do you appeal to people where it has been a pretty good Democratic stronghold for so long?
I think that let's put some reality on the table here. If I only get every vote from every Republican and don't get any Democrat votes, I lose. That's just the numbers. So to solve the math problem of getting elected, you look at a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of Democrats in St. Louis County who are not happy with the direction their party's going in. They see it going farther to the left than they are. They see, a lot of the social aspects that are being introduced into government that may or may not line up with their desires of what they should be getting from a government. These are people that, are blue-collar workers. They've lived in St. Louis County all their lives. and they just want government to not necessarily be actively involved in every aspect of their life. They want their trash picked up, they want their streets repaired, they want just they want snow plowed in the wintertime. And so when you talk to those folks, they're much more closely aligned to my philosophy than they are to the Democrats that are running.
Where do you see I'll put it in quotes, but the so-called culture wars, all of these very hot topic issues, where do you see that in local government, if at all? How does that play a part in how you approach a position like county executive?
I think what I did during my time as mayor was try to keep a vision on the long term. What's the goal? And if you set those goals and you work towards those goals, you kind of can put blinders onto some of the noise that's going on around you and stay focused on what's important. And every year we do a budget that helps us, if we have to reprioritize or restructure our goals, we can do that. And we also have to stay flexible and be able to respond to things that happen that can create serious havoc in government. I know back when I was mayor, we had in 2008 we had the second largest flood in the history of the Merrimack River, but we were able to come through that virtually unscathed by reaching out to people and having volunteers come. When you're mayor of a town of 4,000 people and you get 2,000 volunteers show up to help sandbag your city, that makes you feel pretty good about things, and it really helps you stay focused on the good that's inherent in most people.
I asked this question of Senator Williams regarding the relationship between the county and the city of St. Louis. And a lot of people believe, I happen to be one of them, that one thing that holds us back is the fragmentation of the area, the fact the city and the county are not combining their efforts, for improvements. What do you think that relationship should be? Should there be a merger in the future?
Yeah, I think when we talk about merger, there are a lot of questions that come with that. What does it look like? Is it a merger of governments and you have one big government, or is it, the city coming into the county? And there's a lot of questions that come with that, depending on which path you decide to go down. For me, I like to use the analogy of when you get on an airplane and they're giving you the safety talk and they're teaching you how to buckle your seatbelt. They tell you that if the oxygen masks fall from the ceiling, put your own mask on before you try to help somebody else. We have our own problems to solve in St. Louis County, and I don't know that we're in a position right now, either financially or structurally, to help anybody else solve bigger problems in the region. I really don't.
Would you agree or not that St. Louis City's problems are also kind of the county's problems too?
Well, I think we have similar problems, but I don't know that taking two problems of the same basic structure and putting them together creates a smaller problem. I think it may create a bigger problem. But we do cooperate with the city on a lot of areas, things like regional law enforcement, things like the downtown convention center, things like the stadium. The county taxpayers have made a big investment in a lot of downtown infrastructure. And at the same time, Bi-State is an example of regional cooperation. But my concern is when we talk about regional cooperation, we tend to only focus on St. Louis City, St. Louis County. There are a lot of people that don't live in St. Louis City or county that are part of the region. St. Charles County, Jefferson County. We need to include those folks in any regional discussions as well, because any of those regional discussions also impact them. Recently, for example, we signed an agreement with St. Charles County, Jefferson County, and Franklin County to build a regional law enforcement training center. The city opted not to be a part of that. So we have to make sure that we're aligned not only philosophically but also politically.
We talked to Steve Ellman about this a bunch, and he believes the health of the city directly affects St. Charles, directly affects the county. Is that the same sort of belief you have? Because, I think this being the doorstep to the region, it's pretty important what happens here.
No, I agree. And I think that what we have to look at, though, from a regional perspective, is things like, what are we doing in terms of economic development? What are we talking about, when we go out and try to attract jobs or bring businesses to the region? Is it more important to locate those businesses downtown, or is it more important to locate them in the region so that people can come downtown and take advantage of the attractions that are here? To me, in my experience in economic development, we looked at what are the needs of the business and what really attracts a business. It's public safety, it's tax structure, it's, where is there available land at for them to build a campus or whatever on. And I think that when we look at those things, downtown is not always the best fit, but it may be a good fit for the region to bring those companies in.
Dennis Hancock, County Councilman, District 3, candidate for County Executive. We appreciate you coming in today. Thanks for talking with us.
Thanks for having me. I'll come back anytime you need me to.
Awesome. The primary is on August 4th, and then the general election in November for St. Louis County Executive. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
We fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 kill majority rule?
Yep, creates minority rule, where just 5% of statewide voters in one district can block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass citizen-led ballot measures.
That's just dumb.
And when the politicians refuse to act, we've used citizen-led ballot measures to pass some big stuff, like lobbyist reforms, term limits for career politicians, and outlawing tax hikes without voter approval.
I'm not surrendering my power and rights to a bunch of politicians and lobbyists. I've no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Petty 4 buttons are inch, prepare governance.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Freedom 250. Join the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America July 1st through July 7th across St. Louis as we celebrate America's 250-year legacy with free concerts. No tickets required. Details at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
I'm always talking about taking care of everybody else. The kids, the family, the job, the house, the calendar. But today I want to talk about you taking care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who's going to take care of them? What if you could better understand your risk for chronic disease before symptoms begin? Simon Cancer Center has a tool called Your Disease Risk, and it does just that. It helps you get a better understanding of your risk for chronic disease and cancer before symptoms even start. It looks at things like lifestyle, family history, everyday habits, nutrition, physical activity, tobacco use, sleep, and screenings. things because your health story is shaped by more than just genetics. And knowledge is powerful. When you know your risk, you can make better choices, ask better questions, and the ability to take actions early. Listen, it only takes a few minutes, but it can help guide decisions that matter for years to come. Prevention starts with awareness, and awareness starts with you. Visit citement.washu.edu/YDR and take the Your Disease Risk Assessment today. Just a few minutes a day could make a difference for years to come. That website again is citement.washu.edu/YDR.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Well, the U.S. team lost last night in a miserable showing.
Well, it was sad.
Just, I was sitting here thinking about this. Part of me does wish they would have put up some kind of good effort.
Would you rather be heartbroken today?
No.
Okay, let's do this. Let's say it is 1-1. It is 1-1 when Matt Freese makes the mistake and kicks the dirt instead of the ball,
No,
and
I
then
take
they
it
lose
back.
2-1.
No.
I feel like you would be.
No, yeah,
you
you're
would
right.
be inconsolable
You're
today.
right. You remember how I was with the Illinois State loss?
Yeah.
Football?
Honest to
In the
goodness,
championship game in January?
I pulled you aside and asked if you were okay because
Dude,
I was worried about you.
It was the most devastating sports loss of my fandom, my entire life. So, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm glad they got blown out. I'm glad they stunk. Absolutely
because
stunk
you're not
the field.
heartbroken, you're disappointed.
They didn't even belong on the field with Belgium.
Oh, come on.
How about that?
Listen,
didn't even belong out there.
The Belsh are very good. As Dale Schilly pointed out, they were really soccer royalty. They're kind of aging a bit, and there's a new group coming, but the Belsh are soccer royalty.
And now they've been taunting. So they were all pissed off because Balogun got to play.
Yeah.
And they were crabby about it leading up to it.
Yes, they were.
And wondered if there was, okay, here's the thing. I don't know if I believe in extra motivation because there's it's the World Cup. That's all the motivation you should need. But there are a lot of people who think, well, they're extra motivated against the U.S. now because this guy gets to play, overturning a whole decision. Whatever. I don't know if I agree with that. But they have been a little taunty.
They have been.
And was it a tweet? I think it was a tweet they put out, social media post.
From the official Belgium soccer club.
Yes, from
team.
the official Belgium soccer club team. After beating the crap out of us 4-1, they wrote, overturn this.
Yeah, with pictures of their celebration.
Well,
yeah,
I guess we deserve it.
I mean,
I guess we deserve it.
Yeah, they were, and then they were doing the Trump dance on the field.
Yeah, the little Trump
double
thing
fist.
that he does.
Yeah, Trump dance. I will say there is someone who tweeted, I don't know this account, but it's kind of, a lot of people are retweeting it. It just says, the USA can still advance to the round of 8 if Mike Pence has the courage.
Yeah. There were a lot of those memes that Balogun could still play if Mike Pence has the courage. Look, if they're going to do this, if they're going to overturn it, you have to do it in like 24 hours. You can't wait 4 days and the day before the game and go, oh, yeah, by the way, this guy can play now. You can't do that, idiots. You have to make that decision quicker. So my system, which this should be a no-brainer, FIFA should now institute, you get the red card in the game, you're ejected from the rest of the game, fine. After the fact, there's a review process. The board gets together, they take a look at your foul, then they determine if you should be out for a game or more.
Yeah,
simple.
I think
Every
that's
other
fair.
sport does it. It works.
I will be rooting hard against Belgium, though. I don't like the Belgian players.
Is exactly where I was going to go with this.
Yeah.
I am not one of these people who says, well, I hope whoever beats my team in the playoffs ends up winning the whole tournament because I want to lose to the eventual champion. No, screw that. I'm a spite viewer.
Because here's
I will
the thing.
be rooting hard against Belgium on Friday.
Listen, when the Blues lost their devastating playoff game a couple of years ago to the Winnipeg Jets, I didn't want the Jets to win the Stanley Cup. I wanted them to get swept by the Stars in the next round, and then I wanted the Stars to get swept.
Yeah.
I wanted two teams to just get swept and have their hearts broken.
Well, it won't happen. I mean, half of this will happen. I want Spain to win by a lot on Friday.
Okay.
But then I want Spain to lose in the next round, which they probably won't because they're the favorite.
Well,
or they're like number 2.
Well, as we just declared, we're now Team Norway. And Erling Haaland, the 6'4" Viking, who literally looks like he got off the Viking ship and started playing soccer.
Well, it turns out, because I said I want to pillage and plunder with Norway. Because
you got to be more specific.
So pillaging is the bad one. Plundering is the overall idea of going in and taking things.
It's taking stuff by force, but pillaging is with violence.
Pillaging is with violence, yes. Yeah. So
you're going to plunder.
Yeah, I'm ready to plunder. You know,
you could take a line from the Three Amigos where they plundered and pruned.
What?
He said, we're going to plunder and prune the hedges of many small villages.
No, I don't remember that.
They didn't pillage and plunder. They plundered and pruned.
I was going to say we could just loot. Like, I'd be okay with looting.
No, I don't like the connotation of looting. Looting has no romance. It has no romance to it. Plundering? That's
looting. Hold on. Plundering is way worse than looting.
No, that's pillaging.
They're both worse. Plundering is a step above looting.
But Vikings don't loot.
Looting is just going in and stealing. Plundering is like you're taking it by, pushing people around. Pillaging means you're
doing bad
kidnapping, doing really bad things.
Loot sounds like he plays for Norway.
L-I-U-T would be how you spell it.
Yes.
Mike Lute
actually plays for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Lute Narsbar.
Speaking of the Cardinals.
Lute Narsbar.
Doubleheader today. Pre-game show 12:20 for game 1. 1:15 first pitch, then a 6:45 first pitch for game 2. You're going to be listening right here on KMOX.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
One thing I can absolutely swear to about Oli Marmol, Oli welcomes being challenged. If you're a fan and there's something that he does that bugs you, tell it to him directly. You don't have to hide behind some stupid name. You don't have to be a coward. Just ask him directly.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is 83 degrees, but it feels like 99. A sun and cloud mix today with widely separated thunderstorms this afternoon, a high of 85. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 71.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, score a free repair or replacement quote and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
You feel it every time you check out. Prices up, paychecks stretched, families squeezed. That's why Ann Wagner's fighting to get government off your back and out of your way. Wagner passed the largest tax cut in American history, expanded child tax credits, ended taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And Wagner is working to lower costs so families keep more of their hard-earned money. But Ann Wagner knows delivering for Missouri means more than just protecting their wallets. It means protecting our streets as well. That's why Wagner fought to secure our border, deport dangerous illegal aliens, partner with law enforcement, and put predators behind bars and off our streets so our neighborhoods and communities stay safe. Because real effective leadership protects what matters most: your money, your family, your safety. Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Hey, something occurred to me that I need to bring up to you.
Unbelievable.
And I'm so sorry for blowing this up because we got a whole thing here. So I go to get a little breakfast yesterday, locally. Nice little place. I'm not going to name it.
Because something went wrong.
Kinda.
Okay.
It was a good place. I mean, the food was good, you know. It was like an open face kind of, it was like a toast. It was like a toast, and then they put stuff on. Okay. I got a coffee.
Like a toast. It
was
was
a
like
toast.
a toast. It was a toast.
So I'm in there, right? And I'm by myself like a damn loser.
You're using your voice you use when you're going to tell a sexy story.
Well, this is not sexy.
Okay.
So the wait staff is all, younger women, like probably early 20s or whatever.
Sexy so far.
Well, to you. Hey, you keep it buttoned up over there.
Hang on.
Calm
that sounds
down.
weird when you say it like that.
And zipped up while you're at
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, I get my coffee and I'm sitting on my phone and a coffee and I'm drinking whatever.
Yeah.
And then they bring out the toast. Toast had a little salmon on it.
Little schmutz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. Good little toast thing. And then, I'm eating it.
Okay.
And I have a couple bites in, and she comes back, the server, and she goes, "Hey, just so you know, they're usually a little bigger than that, the toast." And she's like, I don't understand what happened here, but she's like, "So I'm going to bring you another half of this thing to make it, like whole, because it's not as big as it should be."
Okay.
The serving size, she was saying, is not good enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. It seemed fine. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. And she goes, if you were a 20-year-old girl or something, I probably would have let it go. But I'm like, this man needs his breakfast. I'm like, what? This woman's calling me fat.
She saw you and thought,
She's like,
this guy's going to need more than this, obviously.
Big boy, better get big boy a meal.
Here's 2 toasts, big boy.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's very nice of her, but also, what the hell?
Yeah, I think she saw you and thought, this man
Get this man his
subsists,
food.
Yeah, on a lot more than what we're
What?
providing him. That was
Damn.
very nice of her.
That was a real kick in the junk.
Oh, you're fine.
But it was nice. It was the nicest insult I've ever
Wouldn't
gotten.
it have been meaner if she said, listen, the toast is usually bigger than this, but for your scrawny little self, this will be
Yeah.
fine.
No, she came out and she put the second plate down. She goes, "Here you go, fatty." Big boy needs a salmon, like a big bear, like a big old bear. Just go to the river and get it yourself. Just
I like
tear
it.
into
She
it.
recognized that you're gonna Need more food. You're
and
used to more food.
Somebody's to get this fat bastard more food because he's going to complain if we don't. Dude, what the hell?
Well,
right?
Well, it's funny that you bring up bears because we, as I mentioned, I was spending the week in Colorado, and I realized we don't have any natural predators in the Midwest that you really have to watch out for. It's pretty easy to live in the Midwest. I can get up and run in the morning or go on a walk, or you can let your kids play outside. But in Colorado, I mean, you're in bear country. You're in mountain lion country up in the mountains. And so I had my doors unlocked in my car because I knew you can't keep food in your car in Colorado. And, you know, I drove to Colorado, so I packed a ton of snacks. But then I was in a bind. I was in a bit of a pickle because you can't keep the snacks in your car because the bears will pull on your door handles like they do in the city of St. Louis and try to get in your car and take your food. But I even if you don't have food in your car, you can't leave your doors unlocked. I was staying up in the mountains because the bears are going to check out your car. They're curious. And my friend who lives in Colorado now, moved from St. Louis, he said you kind of just treat it, because they lived in the city, kind of like the homeless people or the people in downtown St. Louis who might pull on your car door. I mean, this was a big issue downtown, and those weren't necessarily homeless people.
Yeah,
but
just kids and stuff.
Yeah. And you gotta treat it like the people downtown who might maybe be looking for food or getting into your car and going through all your stuff, because the bears will go in your car even if you don't have food, and a lot of times the door will shut behind them.
And they get locked in.
Yes.
Yeah, I somehow those videos end up on my feed all the time.
Yes.
Bears stuck in cars.
My friends, their cars, they all have bear scratches on them. You can all see claw marks on the cars. And so when I left like super early in the morning, you have to go out. I turned a light on, and I would make noise because there could be mountain lions prowling or bears, and you don't want to come up across on an animal. And at the same time that I'm doing this, like my friend even told me up in the mountains, you know, since you are by yourself, don't go on a run at dawn or dusk, because that's when the mountain lions are most active. If you're not a very big person, if you're alone and running, they love all of that. And so
guess they wouldn't come after me because I'm the fatty who needed
you would be safe.
An extra serving of toast.
Yeah, the mountain lion's hiding from you.
I know. Mountain lion's like, nope.
The mountain lion's telling his kids,
Nope.
you're going to see this very large
Nope.
person with glasses and a hat. Stay hidden. But it was just so interesting because I thought, you know what? I'd have to get a treadmill for the morning, or I'd have to run later in the day. At the same time that I'm keeping track of mountain lions and bears, I'm hearing the stories coming out of Florida about the pythons.
Yeah.
How they've got all these pythons. They're inviting people in for a contest to catch pythons, and also alligators and crocodiles. You can't let your little kids play out in the yard or play down by the creek because they'll get eaten by an alligator.
Well, you don't want that.
Listen, we poo-poo the Midwest, but I'll tell you what, it's easy living. It's easy living. You're not going to get eaten alive by a mountain lion or a bear.
Well, bears find their way over here. Didn't we have a county bear?
Yeah, but they're not the bad ones. They're not the bad ones.
You mean they won't come after you?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part,
Yeah.
you can't guarantee
You just
they
don't want to
won't.
scare a bear.
How much trouble do you get? This is a serious
Yeah.
question. How much trouble as a parent do you get into if your child, your toddler, is eaten by an alligator?
I don't know.
Is that negligence, or is that just a freak
I
accident?
think it's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
I'm looking at Matt as if he knows. I will say this.
If you live in Florida,
I don't think it's negligence I guess if it's like a 2-year-old and then you can't find the 2-year-old and the 2-year-old's wandered down by the pond, but I don't think you're getting in trouble. I think losing your child is punishment enough.
Frank says you do get in trouble for that. I don't know if Frank knows the laws in Florida.
I don't know.
But he just acted like he does.
But I will say, being in mountain lion country, when you're hiking, if you're a family, you are not supposed to let your little kids run too far ahead of you because of the mountain lions.
That's why you have to get a leash for the children.
But can you imagine if you're in Soulard, Ranch, and you go out to your car at dawn?
There's a mountain lion?
Yes. And a bear got stuck in your car?
Well, yeah. That would be a big problem for me.
Yes, but I just think it's really funny that the bears will like pull on the door handles. We have floor level windows, and a lot of places in Colorado, most homes in the mountains, I'm not talking about Denver necessarily, but in the mountains don't have AC and
Yeah.
can't leave the floor level windows open because a bear is going to pop into your house.
I've seen that. I've seen the moose are getting curious too, aren't they?
And the moose are mean. They're meaner than bears.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the
So
moose.
I actually, I was hiking. This was my first big solo hiking trip. And I will tell you, the scariest part was before you get to the ridge line, before you get above the tree line, and you're going through the woods and you're by yourself. And my head was on a swivel because you'll see reports of moose activity in a certain area. And in fact, I was hiking one hike one of the days, and I ran into a couple who was hiking. They said, "Oh, glad you have your bear spray. We've had some bears in this area, in the populated area, recently." And they're like, "But really, it's like the moose you want to watch out for. The moose are mean." They said you can't.
And they're fast, too.
You can't be within a football field of a moose, or you're in danger.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will come after you.
Yeah.
They're very mean.
So it was very, very interesting. I ran into another group of people hiking, and I asked if they were from Colorado, and the guy laughed at me. He goes, no one's from Colorado. It's like we all just move here.
Texter says St. Louis is dangerous with animals. There are many reports of cougar attacks at Filoni's. I don't know. Is that true? Is that a thing about Filoni's?
I don't know.
Filoni's is great. I've never noticed that's the clientele. I guess I'm just having too much fun with my friends when I'm there.
I've only been once, and I think it was their 100th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Filoni's. It was a big bash. It was a big to-do.
Another texter says this is exactly why you let the kids run ahead. Were you just testing it out to make sure that there are no mountain lions?
No, that is terrible.
That's not. Don't be good to your children.
Yeah.
Is that, did anybody find out for me if Florida does have a law about negligence
I mean,
and
you
your
have
child?
to be pretty negligent. If a kid runs outside in the backyard and gets eaten by an alligator, that can't be the parent's fault.
In your backyard?
You would have to have eyeballs on the kid
At all
24/7.
times.
That's not even fair.
Yeah, we need to look into
You
that.
can't let your little doggy out.
Before we hit the break here, get to the break. I want you to know, Amy, that I noticed a thing happen
Oh no.
while we were having this discussion
Okay.
about 4 or 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I look over at Frank Ladd in the other room. And so we had gotten a call. Somebody had called into the station.
Yeah.
And he picked up the phone. And I'm looking at him, and he's just kind of, when you're on the phone with somebody and they just won't shut up, and they're just like talking, and he just kind of hold the phone out like, yeah, are you done yet? Kind of like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He
I
says,
swear.
Frank says the caller was very, well, I don't know if I should say this now.
You can.
The caller
It's
was
fine.
very loud, and so he had to put the phone away from his ear because it was a loud call.
I thought that he was just over what that person was saying.
No.
Oh.
Because, I can understand that.
Was it about animals or was it about politics?
Both.
Oh, politics. Yeah.
Animals and
We
politics.
were talking about animals. Politics is over. We're done with politics.
Ricky in South City says there are lots of bears in the Grove.
Oh.
Oh, come on, Ricky. That's terrible.
That was a
Well, there's the bear at the Galleria, but he was nice. And there was a bear at Eureka High School.
I'd like to see a bear in the Galleria.
I would like to see anybody in the Galleria. We got to save them all.
I was in the Galleria recently. A lot of people in there.
I go all the time, and I keep asking the people at the Great American Cookie Company how it's going.
Well, no one's ever at that thing. They just walk right past
but they're
it.
watching.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. Vote in our Twitter poll about buying physical media, DVDs, CDs, that kind of thing. Video games. Do you still like that, or do you like the digital route? At Chris Amy KMOX. Question of the week is pinned right at the top. You're listening to KMOX.
All right. If you are having, speaking of annoying noises or loud noises, if you have buzzing around your home, it could be more than just annoying. It could be a time to call Rottler. Okay, stinging insects like wasps, hornets, and carpenter bees can pose serious safety risks for your family and even cause costly damage to your home. Carpenter bees actually tunnel into wood structures like decks, trim, maybe your fence, and wasps and hornets often build nests inside wall voids where they're out of sight until they're not. And hornets, oh my gosh, you're not messing around. I got stung by a bee the other day. It drew blood. It's been a long time since I got stung by a bee. So don't wait for a painful surprise. The experts at Rottler safely identify and treat stinging insect nests. They can help protect your home and your family before the problem gets worse. With over 65 years of trusted service, Rottler has the experience to handle stinging insects the right way. So that way, you can take back your backyard and enjoy your home with confidence. Whether it's stinging insects, mosquitoes, even moles, visit Rottler.com today or call Rottler Pest Solutions. That's Rottler.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
The soundtrack of classic rock is coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6th. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner joining forces for one epic night of legendary hits and unforgettable memories. It's the Double Trouble Double Vision Tour. From Sweet Home Alabama to Cold as Ice. Don't miss your chance to experience these two rock and roll Hall of Fame acts in one incredible show. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, did you invite the Minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Teachers, healthcare workers, first responders, and military. This one's for you. Scott Credit Union's Community Heroes program offers special financing on homes, autos, and more. It's our way of saying thanks. Visit scu.org today. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 415767. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And I like to joke, and I say it all the time, like my work with FanDuel Sportsbook goes well beyond the time that it came online in Missouri. I used to have to travel to play. Not anymore. Now I get to play at home, and you can too, whether it's baseball season, whether it's hockey, basketball, football, and now soccer. On the biggest stage of the world, FanDuel is stepping up. They are changing the game because sometimes the player you've got gets subbed off, and your bet goes off with them, but not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. Yeah, so that's right. So if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it to the final whistle. No need to go anywhere. You just hang in there. You still got your shot. But visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. Super easy to do. And let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Were we watching a CYC game last night?
Oh.
You know what's funny?
I love CYC soccer.
A person I was with, they weren't with us, they were next to us, and I heard him say, "This is like me when I was in CYC."
Really?
Yeah. Oh, the U.S. men's national team. By the way, they are now in World Cup play. They had 25 matches that they have played in the World Cup in history where they have given up the first goal.
Okay.
They have won 0 of those games.
Well.
0. They are 0-20-5 in the World Cup when they give up the first goal.
Well.
Which
okay.
I know, the
That's
advantage
tough.
obviously goes
Yeah,
to you, but it shouldn't
tough.
be that bad.
Well, They're on their way up. Hey, speaking of goals, I can't believe this is our big fat soccer show, but you know how we are now cheering for Norway?
Yeah.
And Erling Haaland?
Yes.
So when you're looking at goals, Ronaldo got 60 international goals in 129 games. Messi got 60 international goals in 121 games. Neymar hit that total in 95 games. Haaland just hit his 60th goal in 53 international games. Is that right?
If you're telling me, if you're reading it off of something reputable, then it must be right.
I think it's reputable. I'm not totally sure. But that is easily verifiable.
Yeah, we can
or
look that up.
debunked. That's incredible. I think you picked the right guy.
I love that dude. But I'm not alone in this. Everybody likes Haaland.
The Norway Viking row has gotten really, really popular.
Yeah. So I'm going to root for them on Saturday against England.
Speaking again about rooting against England, I had a great 4th of July.
Oh.
I didn't really do much on the 4th itself, but I was in Colorado on the 3rd, had a party. It was a neighborhood Olympics that I participated in.
Oh, how fun.
Which was really fun. We had bocce ball and dodgeball and Hammerschlagen.
Oh, love that.
I know. And I won for the most points by the individual athlete.
Oh,
so I won a
congratulations.
coffee mug.
Oh, good.
But what I wanted to say is, if you want to feel patriotic, go on a road trip across America. It was so fun. I'm not even joking. This was one of the most patriotic July 4ths I've had, even though on the actual 4th of July, I went to bed super early, and there's no fireworks, obviously, because we were in the mountains, and there were a lot of fires, and it was really, really bad, and had to kind of run away from some smoke when we were doing different hikes. But so obviously very careful with the fire there. But it was so patriotic driving across the country, stopping in at gas stations along the way, looking at how big our country is, and it was really just Kansas that I saw. God bless America. That's how I felt.
Did you do like small routes, or did you take the interstate?
Oh, I took 70. Until it takes you have to go around Kansas City, right? And you have to go around Topeka.
Because nobody wants to go through it?
Like it's trafficy.
Oh, trafficy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think 70's closed in Topeka. So you take 470.
That's sad.
Or something, whatever that road is. I don't know.
Well, thanks to our guests today, Dale Schilly, Dave Simons, Polo Asensio, Dennis Hancock for being on the show. Go back and listen to everything on the Odyssey app, KMOX.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow. You're going to love it. No, she came out and she put the second plate down. She goes, "Here you go, fatty."
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Audie and Hearing.
AI can help you age-proof your